The dog days of the offseason are gone. Mike Locksley rolling up for year 6 as the head coach of the Terps for weekend number 1 of a full college football Saturday.
The offseason is the time where it'll make or break a program. And for us, it's making our program.
Every play is the play. We don't ease into anything.
You have to pay a price to be a part of the family. We either have to take it or we have to earn it.
Nobody in college football will outwork me. I'm making my personal mission to outwork everybody.
Hey, brought it on me. What's the thing?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
As Mike Locksley said, it is great to be back. Welcome to College Park as the Terps take the field for the first time, taking on the UConn Huskies, who are looking for their second ever Big Ten win on the road today at Seacoast Stadium. We're so glad you're with us. Happy first college football Saturday of the year. Mark Helfrich, Connor Onion. A lot of new across the sport this year for these teams, new quarterbacks, a new look league for Maryland's. Me and you, new partnership.
Yes,
great to be with you.
New partnership. The debut, a lot of new. Quarterbacks, playoffs, coaches' bodies. Look at Coach Locks walking out there all smooth. Quarterback questions on both sides. O-line questions on both sides. No question. We've got crab cakes. We've got football. We've got Maryland. All good.
Yeah, that's Wedding Crashers 101
yeah.
right there. Let's get you the news that Maryland fans have wanted all offseason. The new quarterback is Billy Edwards.
Yeah, Billy Edwards really, won the job probably with that defeat of Auburn, really the domination of Auburn in the bowl game by this team. But he's going to rely on these three guys, the three seniors. Roman Hemby, the most underappreciated back in this conference, versatile, tough, and then let's go outside. Ty Felton, legit track speed. He'll go and get it. And then Caden Prather, he'll go up and get it. A little Maryland hoop, UConn hoop, go up and get it. Big, physical guy. Can't wait to see these weapons at Billy Edwards' disposal.
And I can't wait to see the new quarterback for UConn as well. Nick Evers comes in from Wisconsin.
Yeah, your typical story, right? The commits to one place, ends up at OU, ends up at Wisconsin, and now he's here. The word coming out of UConn's camp, Mike Vick comparisons is what they're making so far. He's pretty good.
Jim Mora, of course, coached Mike Vick with the Atlanta Falcons, the head coach of the UConn Huskies now. Can't wait to kick this thing off. UConn and Maryland's coming up next for the first time in 2024. Welcome back to the Shell, home opener for the Maryland Terrapins, part of the Terp Walk, leading them in. Small little parade, the band leading the team.
I thought they were there for you. I thought that was all in your honor.
That was to welcome you back to college football. It's under 80 degrees, but it sure feels like it's a lot hotter than that.
Yeah, they were saying it feels like of 87. It's hot. It's humid. Little breeze.
Jim Mora found that out firsthand, running some stairs before the game to get ready for the opener.
Yeah, that dude is in great shape. Was moving, getting a little sweat on. And speaking of great shape, lost about a whole human. Lost about 100 pounds in the last year. Looks great, feels great, energized. Hope, in his case, the Terps play like it.
90 pounds down for Mike Locksley. That was part of a motivational tactic. Here we go, UConn kicking off, and a touchback starts the 2024 season for the Maryland Terps, coming out on offense for the first time with Billy Edwards, who's waited his turn behind Talia Tungavailoa.
No doubt, only replacing the most productive quarterback in Big Ten history through the air, and there it is. 4 through the air, 8 on the ground. He was primarily the goal line, short yardage running back to take those hits off of Tungavailoa and to get accustomed to get, to prepare to be in this position that he is today.
4th year of college, 1st year as the guy. That quarterback for Maryland, Billy Edwards. His first snap, quick pop out for Ty Felton, who gets a good block around the edge. And the speedy wide receiver back for another year for Maryland. Ty Felton has a first down.
Yeah, we talked about this guy's track speed, and this is a great way to get him the ball. You've got end arounds, a little over-the-top motion, great athleticism and commitment there by Roman Hemby as a lead blocker, and Caden Prather doing the dirty work.
Hemby paved the way for the 19-yard gain, and he bursts ahead for a first down.
They want to test the interior of this UConn front. offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis and Mike Locksley said, hey, we think we got an advantage on the interior front. They're finding out early. So far, so good.
It is a totally new offensive line for the Terps this year. Heavy lifting in the transfer portal with 5 new bodies up there. Edwards with a quick pop out, second connection with Felton. And he's close to another first down with a flag out on the 8-yard gain.
What about the corner blitz there? They might end up with an illegal formation. Let's see what Art Brown tells us. Illegal man downfield might have been covered up.
Eligible player downfield, offense number 85. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So what that is there is, I think the receiver outside was covering up Preston Howard, the tight end, as he ran downfield. Andre Roy, they could not sing his praises enough as the anchor of this offensive line. And then Preston Howard, unfortunately, is making his introduction with a penalty, but 1st and 15.
That negates the 8-yard gain for Felton. Here's Edwards. This is expected to be a pretty heavy quarterback run team this year because of the history Edwards has.
Yeah, he can do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw MJ Morris kind of almost in his role from last season. Watch 96 Gourdine here. Dalmont Gourdine shedding the block and making a play for a short gain. Billy Edwards introducing himself to the biggest guy on the field.
And Donovan Branch's helmet came off behind that play, so he's out for a play for UConn on defense. Plenty of time for Edwards. He dumps it off to Henby, who bounces off tacklers, and he's ahead of the 35, 2 yards shy of the first down.
Nice decision there by Edwards. Had a corner route from Howard. Watch the tight end here be covered. 85, you'll see him on the right side there. Is double covered. He says, let me get it to my go-to guy, Henby, and check it down.
Well, great surge from linebacker Tui Famina Brown, returning starter at linebacker, with the hit for a loss, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Maryland trying to go fast there, and UConn was lined up and ready for it. 4th down, staying on the field here, offensively for Mike Locksley.
Well, the Terps offense was marching before the penalty, set him back to 1st and 15. And on their first drive, going for it on 4th down. Edwards underneath, complete to Felton, who's been his security blanket on this first drive. It is a first down right at the sticks with 4 yards.
Nice job here by Billy Edwards. A little tackle twist is going to come right in his face. Does a good job of just presenting that ball to a good spot for Ty Felton and then knifing vertically right there. Just that's the difference between first down and not for Ty Felton.
He got great experience last year as one of the featured guys. Him and Caden Bray, they're both back this year. Jay Sean Jones, the NFL at wideout for the Terps. Edwards with the keep, off of Branch's tackle, and there are the running skills that Billy Edwards has shown the last couple of years.
Yeah, we talked about this with Mike Locksley. Hey, are you going to kind of almost protect him similar to what they did with...
I think that ball came out at the end. Yeah. Like they rolled him down. Billy Edwards is saying he's down.
Yeah, of course he is, right? He doesn't count. It's the guys in the stripes that are convening.
On the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
So Billy Edwards was pleading that he was down, but not the case. This is UConn football.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look here. That came out super late, and no, it didn't. That came out early. That ball was out. The reaction. Now seeing that. That's why they have multiple angles in the replay booth. We have this is an ACC crew, different system today.
Lee Millett came in and punched that thing out. Then Damon Brinson on top of it.
Yep, trying to strip it. We're just getting that second look. That is a bad look on your face right there, and a bad feeling as a quarterback at the bottom of that pile. But the key will be the timing of the left, I guess, of the right elbow, and when it comes out. Was it the right elbow?
Probably have to patch a couple of those looks together, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You're trying to find out the first thing that caused you to go down there. It looked like it would be his right elbow, but a dream start for Jim Mora Jr. if he's able to stem the tide here, stop this drive, and get it turned over.
This was not a very good takeaway defense for UConn last year. They were one of the bottom teams in the country in FBS in taking the ball away, just 13 on the year in 2023.
Matt Brock, new defensive coordinator, and he's turned over the reins. Jim Mora Jr. has to him. There's nothing down. It looks like the right knee would be the first thing that caused him to be down.
Remember, ruling on the field was fumble, so this was ruled
key.
UConn football. So if it's close, UConn will likely keep it.
Yep.
Which it looks like it will be close.
Oh, there's traffic of kind of patch all these looks together. That's what they're doing. Is it might be that right elbow that's the first thing down, and that's why the reaction was so late. As you said, Wright came in later and it really knocked the ball out with his hip, but it looked like the ball was out. Prior to that, Jim Moore Jr. says, hey, this is an easy one. We don't need to take this long.
Well, Matt Brock, the new defensive coordinator for UConn, probably saying the same thing.
Exactly.
And Brock came over from Mississippi State, the DC there for Bulldogs last year.
Yeah, both of these defenses you're going to see today based out of a three-man front, new center quarterback combination. That's always interesting to see how those guys handle that. And thus far, they've communicated well, identified kind of what they're trying to do offensively for Maryland. We'll see how that plays out for a UConn offense with their maiden voyage.
I think we've hit the over on the 2 minutes to review this one.
Yes.
That's the expectation. That's not a rule.
There we
the
go.
expectation
is that a verdict.
Takes about 2 minutes.
After further review, the runner was down. It is first down at the 18-yard line.
And you're good if it takes a little longer, as long as they get it right.
Got to get it right. Yeah, right there. They're saying that. I think it was the left elbow and the right knee almost simultaneously before the late roll over the top from Jordan Wright. We didn't have that look. We couldn't find that look of those simultaneous looks, but obviously they have that in the replay. In the replay booth, Maryland, a deep breath for Billy Edwards. Take care of the rock.
In the end, he was right. He was
exactly.
down. And a big sigh for Maryland fans on this first drive of the season. Edwards to the end zone. Ty Felton for 6.
Great protection right here. This is going to show. Watch, it shows us a 6-man pressure, and it's a 3-man rush. Billy Edwards realizes he has time and fits it right over the top of Falmina Brown. Ty Felton doing a great job presenting himself to the quarterback and giving him some confidence.
So Billy Edwards won a 3-man quarterback battle in camp. There were some questions outside. Could Billy Edwards throw the ball? Known as a runner, he answers some questions on the first drive, feathering it over the top for a touchdown to Ty Felton. Well, high-flying offense for Maryland the last several years, led by Talia Tungavailoa. And they go to a new quarterback. Billy Edwards wins the job, 3 of 3 and a touchdown on his first drive.
Yeah, has a near heart attack, a little scare there with the ball out. You could see him reviewing that with those tablets on the sideline. New rule this year, the ability to review those plays. But yeah, you're only replacing the most productive quarterback in Big Ten history in Tungavailoa. So far, so good for Billy Edwards. The Auburn Bowl game and the debut drive, looking good.
Survived a near fumble that was overturned by replay and converted on a 4th down. And now UConn will get to touch for the first time. Kick from House was short and chased down from the back ends. Brett Buckman brings it across the 20-yard line. So Nick Evers won the job in camp after transferring at the end of spring, after spring practices at Wisconsin. Came in, UConn paid him some money. New world in college football, and now here he is as the starter on opening day.
Yeah, Jim Mora Jr. was great at the press conference, right? He said, yeah, I mean, probably, right? When in doubt, go with the guy we paid. But this guy he has that dreaded P word, potential, right? He's been great. He was great in high school, 4-star guy, as you said, highly recruited, highly regarded, very athletic. And we'll see his debut snap right now.
He hands off to Cam Edwards, returning running back, carves out some space on the edge. And a good start to take some pressure off their new quarterback, Nick Evers.
That is exactly right. Great job. Just all the little things on the first snap. Catch it, Wesho. Great job of organizing the front here for Gordon Sampson's offense. And then Cam Edwards, you said it, settle down. I'm a Connecticut native. I'll take care of the rock. Be physical. Be a little Roman Hemby.
New offensive coordinator Gordon Samus. Heavy running background as the offensive line coach, and that flip to the edge. Ramel Brown is chopped down by Glendon Miller at safety.
Glendon Miller, great job. This is one of the biggest worries of coaches coming into this opener. Tackling in space. Here's your first answer. Great job getting Mel Brown onto the ground. Great job feathering it on the edge by Donnell Brown.
It's a guy to watch. Glendon Miller, Maryland staff, including Brian Williams, their defensive coordinator, think he's ticketed for the NFL at some point. And this tackle brings up second down, and Evers' first pass is knocked out of there. Lewis Hanson, the target. It was Dante Trader flying up to knock that away.
Yeah, this front is going to try to be in the backfield a bunch today without Quayshawn Fuller, who has an illness, Coach Locke said, replaced by Fontes. Kellen Wyatt and Donnell Brown on those edges. And those linebackers inside so good. The guy that's going to get tested today, Perry Fisher. He's the new kid on the block. They're going to see how good this highly touted corner is.
And 3 new starting DBs for Maryland. A couple guys gone to the NFL. Evers rolling the pocket, shows off the arm, but behind his intended target. And incomplete to bring up fourth down. He was looking for Ezariah Anderson beyond the chain.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty good ball. He's trying to stop Anderson with that back shoulder throw. You're going to see a little high-low over that outside and try to bring him back inside. That's one you got to make for that young quarterback. I think that's a pretty good throw under pressure, but he's feeling Trader coming down hard as well.
Brings out Connor Stutz to punt for the first time. And Nick Evers in his first drive, his quarterback, a first down, and then a drop ball. It'll put Maryland's offense back onto the field. Some contact. Wisloski called for the fair catch, but flags stay in pockets.
Yeah, that's the determination. It wasn't malicious, wasn't hard enough, whatever that determination is.
When Chris Hudson came in, and there was definitely contact. No flag. Maryland with a long field next. Talia Tagovailoa, one of the most legendary quarterbacks in Maryland history, if not the best, certainly one of the best, with all those records after a 4.5-year run as starter.
Yeah, just demolished the school record book, the Big Ten record book. And then, as we said, so far so good for Billy Edwards Jr., checking it down to his old standby, Roman Hemby, and then a great little cross-face action there by Ty Felton to win that race back to the ball at the goal line. No problem, 3 for 3.
Some drama on that first drive.
I was going to say, and a near disaster. That's the life of a quarterback right there.
Went from fumble on his first drive to being overturned and throwing a touchdown. He gets Caden Prather involved for the first time. You mentioned it at the top, Mark. With the skill guys around him, there could be a lot more pressure than there actually is on Billy Edwards to perform at quarterback in his first year.
No doubt. He's got backs, plural. I think we're going to see at some point MJ Morris today almost in his role last year. And so, again, that just takes the pressure off, takes some hits off of him in a different way than Tagovailoa. But Billy Edwards still has to be him. They're running the read game. You can see they're going to, quote-unquote, put him at risk anyway.
He hands off to Hemby with another physical run. He's a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, great check right there. Josh Gaddis and Mike Locksley getting into the ideal play against that look. A light box is the ideal box. You want to be able to block 5 with 5. 5-0 lineman on that 5-man front right there was clean.
This quarterback battle that took shape for Maryland in the offseason got some juice added to it when MJ Morris transferred from NC State, where he started 4 games last year, and we will see him today. Little wildcat here. Roman Hemby takes the direct snap and has a first down. So they have 4 quarterbacks apparently.
Roman Hemby says, don't forget about me. Don't forget about me. I'm only the leading returner in the Big Ten. I could do it through the air. I could do it on the ground. I could work my hard cadence. Great feel there. Getting the first down.
A quick pitch out. Ty Felton's had a busy afternoon already.
Yeah, a little Red 7 hot route right there for you. A little hot route. They'll hitch out to Ty Felton. That again, they want to check on these tacklers in space right there. A new starter at corner is Jordan Wright, 0, securing Ty Felton.
Already 3 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown for Felton. Starting his second year as one of the key guys at wideout. Hemby threw that tackle and bludgeons his way ahead for a first down.
Again, sheds, runs through Falmina Brown. 15, try to fit and slip through. And then the rest of the crew gets there, and it takes that Amir Renwick and company to get him to the ground. Watch the center up front doing a great job communicating. Josh Kaltenberger, the same issue that we talked about for Wes Ho, the center from UConn, is just making sure everybody's on the same page against these unconventional defenses. Got him.
Off a play fake, and he threads it in. Tight window throw for Edwards to Octavian Smith, who's on the board with his first catch in 2024.
Yeah, he had Caden Prather wide open. They'll watch that on the tablet on the sideline. You'll see number 1 show up on the left side of this. He said, I'm going to fit in the harder throw right here and get it to Octavian Smith, get him dialed in.
Smith expected to be the number 3 target outside Prather and Felton. For the Terps with Jay Sean Jones gone to the NFL. Here's one of their exciting new pieces. Nolan Ray breaks a tackle. Home free. Nolan Ray rumbles for a touchdown.
Mike Loxley's word, he said the other day, wow. He said this guy made wow plays plural against their defense, and I get it. Makes that first guy miss, and then that third level gear, speed, power, change of direction, touchdown.
Yeah, that was quite the descriptor. Just wow.
Yeah, wow.
Anything else, Coach Locks?
Man of few words. Man of less pounds, man of fewer words. Nolan Ray, the freshman, to the house in the opener.
Well, Nolan Ray introduces himself to Terp Nation. First carry of the season after playing a little bit last year, but redshirting, using the red shirt. 48 yards for a touchdown to cap the 92-yard drive.
Yeah, so far Billy Edwards, check, right? As we look at our checklist of Terp fans' to-do list today. Depth at running back, check.
Edwards 3 of 3 on both drives, 6 of 6 through the air in his first start as the Terps quarterback. Another returnable kick for UConn, and there was a seam there. It closed fast across the 20. And Nick Evers coming back out after the Brown return. He was at Oklahoma. This was a highly recruited guy. He was behind Dylan Gabriel, one of the Heisman favorites going into this year at Oregon. Then they brought in Tanner Mordecai as a transfer at Wisconsin, so
and
he was
down at the system, totally different really than what he does.
Running the air raid there, and at the end of the spring he comes to UConn and gets a little bit of money, gets a starting job, and here he is today making his first start.
Yeah, and had a tough first drive. Not really his doing. Had some pressure in his face, had a drop. See what they do in this one. A little unbalanced.
Off a play fake. This is one of Evers' strengths, is the run game. You mentioned the name Mike Vick, somebody that he was compared to heading into his first start.
Yeah, a little bold, but that, you know, he's fast, right? We know that. We saw the 4.5 speed in high school, and right there, he's physical. Right there, that's a nice little design by offensive coordinator Gordon Samus, whose mom wants to call him Gordon. He prefers Gordy, right? We just learned that. But they're going to play to his strengths right off the bat. You've seen him on the moves and throw a screen. See him right there as a predetermined quarterback run. Try to eliminate a ton of thought and just play.
It was nice of you to play to both Gordy and
Gotta
Gordon.
keep him on happy. Absolutely.
You know, outside run, it'll be third down and short coming up. You know, the thought is Gordy Samus, or Gordon Samus, for the moms out there. The thought is this is going to be a run-heavy offense because his history as the offensive line coach, but said Nick Evers can really spin it. That's not necessarily going to be what we do all the time, is just load up and run it.
Exactly. He can spin it, and then you look at the weapons they've brought in. Skylar Bell, TJ Sheffield, Big Ten transfers that everyone's familiar with.
On a 3rd and short, they give it up the gut, and they have the first down.
And then he wants to be able to do that. Just hammer the ball. Give the ball, not a read play every time. Had the option, had a couple of things, good diversity of scheme. Right here, just a little hardball, downhill, tight zone where they can kind of communicate and get this. Again, Maryland's going to change up front almost every play to this front. If you're playing quarterback, if you're playing center, you're sorting out a different look almost every time. There's unbalanced. Everybody's to the left. It's eligible. Tackle just the only guy backside.
After the Cam Edwards first down, he got plowed over by Trader, who recovers to also make the tackle. Took out the back and the quarterback, Dante Trader.
Yeah, Trader, great recognition, the veteran. Again, him and Glendon Miller, the seniors, they recognize the unbalance. You see him communicating 12 right there. He says, okay, I'm coming. I'm running through this guy, running his little slide route and disrupt this play.
That pass incomplete over the top of Miller. He was looking for TJ Sheffield, who's played against Maryland before. He was at Purdue for 5 years.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Brian Williams is kind of in prove-it mode right here. He said, hey, Nick Evers, I've heard all the hype. Prove it to us, right? Throw in these tight windows, fit it over the top, underneath. That's tough. We had the drop on probably a good throw right there, just a flat-out miss. Now play 3rd down. Showing a 4-man rush. Unbalanced again, look.
Evers chased by Wheatland and had to get it away in a hurry and shoots it long. And Evers still looking for that first completion as 4th down is coming.
Caleb Wheatland identifies this, playing it from depth. It becomes a 5-man rush. Again, smart design in theory, right? But now my ex, if I'm defensive coordinator Brian Williams, says, hey, I'm going to beat your O and get to the quarterback.
A returnable for Wisłowski, and he goes down. Clipped down, good special teams coverage once again for UConn. And it'll be Maryland back on the field when we get back after Wheatland had the pressure, saying no. Full day of college football coming your way on FS1. North Dakota and Iowa State next. UNLV in Houston. Nightcap has Wyoming against Arizona State. All right here on FS1
Let's go.
and the Fox Sports app.
Great ball. All day long.
You're going to have your feet up at the airport and locked into FS1 all day, right?
Absolutely.
On the plane as you fly 6 hours home.
We might see MJ Morris this drive and coming back to Billy Edwards.
Here's Edwards out the back door as a lead block from Prather and carves his way out near another first down. He gets 8 on that play.
Man, you say it. Mike Loxley, Josh Gaddis kind of tag team these receivers in coaching effort and toughness. Watch Caden Prather down here at the bottom. He can say, I'm going to block for whoever ends up with the rock. Could be the running back, could be the quarterback. That's a 2-for-1. That's a happy hour block right there for Caden Prather. On a week 1 happy hour, that's a double sticker.
There's Kobe McDonald, first down Terps. Hold on a minute. Explain to people what you mean by happy hour block.
2-for-1. One offensive player blocking 2 defensive players. Now I know Connor would enjoy maybe a root beer. 2-for-1 at a local establishment.
What are you saying? I'm underage?
We got to card you for sure. You can see that secondary of UConn trying to protect their inexperience with that shell. Edwards says, I'll check it down.
Yep, dumps it down to Hemby going upstairs. Not the result he probably wanted, but he got way up there.
In his mind, he jumped over those guys. This guy is physical, he's athletic, and he's almost an Olympic high hurdler.
If Jaden McDonald doesn't come in there at the end, he might have cleared it.
Defensive guys do not like it when offensive guys do that.
Is that a happy hour tackle? That was 2 for 1 there.
There should be a lot of those.
Here's Hemby finishing forward. We've seen that a lot today.
Yeah.
Third down's coming up. Hemby with the shoulder pads driving.
Yeah, this is a good basketball matchup right there. Right there. Jaden McDonald took a charge. He took the shoulder from Roman Hemby and got run over, setting up a 3rd and short.
This is bringing back memories. Karan Butler against Juan Dixon. Early 2000s hoops. Oh, stuck in the hole. Hemby is knocked down by McDonald, who got him on the hurdle earlier. And it's 4th down and less than a yard for the Terps offense.
Great job by McDonald that time. You got me last time, Roman. I'm going to be on your side of the line of scrimmage. Great identification and a trigger. Your old partner, Matt Millen, would appreciate that play right there.
He would have said, boom, big hit. So punting unit out for the first time for the Terps after they went 75 yards and 92 yards down the field their first 2 drives and scored touchdowns. And McPherson, his first punt as a Maryland Terp, is a friendly bounce for the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish kicker. And let's take you inside the film room for the first time this season. Maryland's defense.
Yeah, taking a look at last season, you saw a very similar play a second ago from Caleb Wheatland. This is Ruben Hippolyte last year. Don't let that number fool you. It's 11. Identify and trigger. We saw Jaden McDonald make this same stop. They probably watched that same film. That's one of those plays where Rutgers has enough guys to block them. These linebackers are savvy enough. They coach them, hey, you see this trigger, you hit it. Lance Thompson right there, the linebacker coach, I believe, was getting in his ear. But Ruben Hippolyte, so good, had to change his number so, teams could key on somebody else for a second.
That's Tarheeb Still's old number, cornerback, who's now with the Chargers in the NFL. The long field for Nick Evers. Third drive as the UConn quarterback. And he has lead blockers in front. And he is run down by Glendon Miller saying, I am here.
I am here. I have fabulous hair, but I have to leave the game for one play because my lid came off. Put that ball away, Nick Evers. Ooh. Great pursuit. It looked for a second like they really had something going, but Maryland did a great job right there stretching it out. I think it was Kellen Wyatt who's kind of playing him wider and wider and wider, didn't let him get squared up.
Well, that is a great plug and play. Glendon Miller was mostly a nickel back last year, situational type defensive back. Bo Braid just made the Ravens roster, and Glenn Miller fills that same spot on this defense.
Yeah, Glenn Miller, great in space, coming downhill again. We saw Dante Trader's another hard ball inside run, gets a little bit of progress and then stop for a short third down. But those guys, you've seen it, what they can do right there. Speed in space. They don't break down. They run through physical tacklers. They know the other guy's going to be there to overlap if they happen to rarely miss.
UConn can wait this out and flip fields, go to the other side. Play clock at 20, game clock at 15.
One of those ones where Coach Moore's in his ear going, hey, if we have the perfect look, run it. If not, let's play second quarter, and they like it. Pressure.
And we got the look they like, and the first completion for Evers is to Josiah Gathings, the former Akron Zip, closing out this first quarter with a first down. Couple new quarterbacks getting broken in the opener. The Maryland Terps with the early edge at quarterback and on the scoreboard. Edwards with a touchdown on his first drive. And then Nolan Ray into the end zone for the Terps. One of the biggest flags in the world.
Oh, I love it.
The Maryland flag.
Derek Manning, our director's home state of Maryland.
Crab cakes in his honor. The running game for Maryland popped on top of Billy Edwards chucking it around in that first quarter.
Yeah, and then finally Nick Evers could get off the schneid there, convert that first third down, complete that first ball. Big weight off his back right there.
Nick Evers handing off to start the second quarter with Mel Brown. Little stumble, and he's out near the chains. Dante Trader got there. There's a flag.
Yeah, I believe
a couple flags down behind the play.
They cheated to get around the edge there. Probably left tackle. That was a quick edge.
Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty on the previous spot. First down.
Let's send the left tackle. The tackles are back. Sen and Chase Lunt are back at the tackles, but the interior around those two guys, brand new for UConn.
Yeah, this is their bread and butter play. You see 71 there. That stretch play happened obviously before that. That's nice design though. Again, get two backs in there, some of their best athletes blocking for each other that time. Unfortunately for UConn and Jim Moore Jr. flagged.
So that negates that run and also some of the yardage they got on that first down just before the end of the quarter. And right in the back of his own guy, Evers gets 4 yards.
You can tell that he's been coached. Hey man, when you see some daylight, hit it. Had a chance there as he grows into this role to kind of cut that back. Had a nice little run lane out the back door, but well defended by Maryland. And this is not where UConn wants to live with your new quarterback on the road against this disruptive front.
Showing a little pressure on the edge. Pre-snap there.
Yeah, Gordon Samus checking it. Getting his young guy to look over to the sideline, get to the right play, and there he comes.
And running to that side of the formation, and that is stacked up. Several Terps there, led by Michael Harris at backer.
Yeah, and you saw it. You saw it too, and you'd think they'd probably get out of that ideally from the sideline. You saw the pressure coming. You see 13. Showed his pressure, then he looks to the sideline and says, oh, yeah, you still want me to go? Stark says, no problem. I'll set the edge here. Him versus Lewis Hanson. 1 win for the Terps.
So because of the holding, it's a 3rd down and long for Evers. And screen play, Hippolyte couldn't quite get there, but plenty of ground to work with for that Maryland defense, and Cam Edwards is tackled 8 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, great ID right there by Hippolyte. Watch 4, just shot out of a cannon. They brought a 5-man pressure. Great design, but they couldn't climb to Hippolyte, and this is where Cam Edwards trying to make the most of that 3rd and 16 screen situation. Great job rallying to the ball to get off the field for that Terp D.
So 3 drives, 3 punts. Connor Stutz out again for UConn. And a short one. Wozlowski pointing at it, and he'll steer clear. So all 3 drives for UConn have been very, very similar. Gain a first down, drive stalls.
Penalty. Yep.
Maryland gets it back again, leading 14-0. Huskies and Terps. MJ Morris.
Breaking news.
Is coming onto the field at quarterback. He was one of the guys that competed for the job with Billy Edwards. This was expected today, and this is not a 2-quarterback system. But Mike Loxley wants to develop MJ Morris after coming in from NC State.
Yep, just as he did Billy Edwards with Tonga Vailoa, as we've mentioned in the past, of why that happened. He wants to develop this guy, loves his skill set. It's a different set, a different game plan, a different package. And here we go.
And a flag out before his first snap.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
First down.
So that's the dreaded new quarterback, maybe
New
a little
cadence.
difference. And then the trigger there was a sweep motion, out of the shotgun. That first play, that's always a little awkward. It was a tough one for the new guy, new center combination.
Quick pitch out to Octavian Smith to get MJ Morris's Maryland Terps career started. And Billy Edwards had his arm around MJ Morris before he took the field. 7 of 7 start. And remember, Billy Edwards is the guy.
Yep.
Mike Loxley wanted to emphasize that. Not a 2-quarterback deal, but Morris will play in games.
They did a really good job, I think, of playing with multiple guys last year and then 2 quarterbacks in the bowl game. And Billy Edwards built a lot of momentum over the offseason.
Here are some of those running skills for Morris. Head for a couple. Third down coming.
And in modern college football, that's hard. The momentum from season to season, so many transfers, so many coaching changes, so many, conference changes, different reasons why different things happen. It's hard to build that off-season momentum. It really feels like Mike Locksley has something special in terms of that.
Recruiting well,
Yeah.
both at the high school level and at the transfer level. Getting a guy like Morris to come from a place where he was a starter at NC State. He avoids Branch, who's coming off the edge with pressure. And Morris slides. Where did he give himself up? He was a yard short as a flag comes out on that contact at the end.
Yeah, so the spot is at the beginning, the initial part of the slide, and there's no question that was short. We saw a flag from our referee, Art Brown-Leighton. Great job of avoiding that twist game and get on the edge. Now, right there is where that play would be dead. And maybe it's the... You see, this angle's much better. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think they threw the flag on the possibility of him getting hit. That's great job by those officials getting together and say, hey, I was wrong. That's a great veteran move by Art Brown to say, hey, that was on me. Now we have to go back to that correct spot. It's 4th and 1. And MJ Morris is still out there.
Well, Morris gave himself up at the 41. Spot he needed was the 42.
Yep.
First charge, timeout, 30 seconds.
All right, the first, what do you do with the year as a play caller? What do you do here if you're Mike Locksley and Josh Gaddis, the OC for Maryland?
Right there, you can see Coach Locksley. He is recruiting great as always, as you said, and now he's coaching the quarterbacks. So that's allowed Mike Locksley. Hey, we've always recruited well, but I thought he made a really great point of recruiting better guys, better guys, so I don't have to deal with so many other issues. Get back to doing what I do love the most, and that's coaching quarterbacks and developing quarterbacks, and that has shown in every phase, I think, really, of this program. And right there, you could see him saying, hey, remember, you got to get the first down before you can start to slide, otherwise they're bringing it back. They're maiden voyage together. That's a great bad problem, right? The early slide, very, very teachable. You're almost trying to work that out of a guy like MJ Morris, who wants to initiate contact more than avoid it.
We show those recruiting rankings. You could understand after what Talia Tungavailoa did here and what Mike Locksley did at Alabama when he was coaching Tua Tungavailoa and Jalen Hurts.
A bunch of wideouts and a bunch
you can understand why a quarterback would want to come here and play for.
You can understand why MJ Morris is mad that they're punting. Heads up.
Ty Felton running down on special teams and makes the tackle. He's caught a touchdown in this game. He's expected to be their top target with Caden Prather. He's also playing in another phase.
Tough wideouts, man, that play, they block, they play on special teams. Gold.
Well, what do you get? What do you get when you come to Maryland? Crab cakes.
Yes.
Football.
Yeah.
What do we get when we come to Maryland? Big reveal. You signed a nice deal before the game.
Big, cheesy crab pretzel. Are you kidding me?
This thing is like 20.
The first ingredient,
pounds.
onion. That's the first ingredient, onion, in the
Had
recipe.
to.
Yeah. I looked at. There was no cakes for you, but giant cheesy pretzel, unbelievably good.
It is super heavy.
It is heavy.
Do curls with that thing.
Mm-hmm. The liquid grease off the box too was delicious.
So crab cakes, check. Here's the football, big hit. And Victor Rosa hangs on to that after taking a shot from Trey Reddick.
Yeah, Victor Rosa, nice job hanging on to it. The Bristol, Connecticut native. They like him in this role, playing everywhere. He's 100% now for the first time in a long time.
And they get him back-to-back touches. He was a big part, Rosa was, when UConn went to a bowl game. And Jim Mora's first year as the head coach, he had 11 touchdowns as a true freshman.
Yeah, versatile, and you see it right there. Tough, physical, great hands, courageous to the ball, setting up another critical third down.
Evers in the UConn offense not ready for the snap. And he has to slide inside the 5 to make sure that doesn't go for a safety or a Maryland touchdown.
Yeah, you're so worried about this stuff with day one. You can see Nick Evers checking with the sideline, checking with his center, sending the guy in motion, and just a miscommunication between he and Wes Ho. Let's watch here. Sends him in motion. Doesn't look like he gives any indicator, but that's sometimes you can hear some ghosts, and probably not practiced in front of this raucous student section behind him right now. Grade A hair, great mullet, tough snap.
So the new interior of this UConn line showing up backed up on a 3rd down, and another short punt will have Maryland with their best field position of the day. Just a 35-yard punt after the surprise snap. So Maryland the last 3 seasons, they've won 7+ games. They've been to a bowl game and won a bowl game in all 3 of those years.
Yeah, just great stuff from Mike Locksley, and this is what they've expect. You know, they always talk about the Maryland finish of the season, and part of that's conference driven, but the thing is, these are things that have never been done at this school before, and very, very impressed by what that man right there, this program, this university, this community, this region have done. Billy Edwards coming back in says, thank you very much for that field position.
They give to Roman Hemby, who has 4 yards on 1st down. The thing now for Mike Locksley and the Terps, I mean, they looked each other in the eye preseason. They're very aware. 4 new teams joined their league, but they're not satisfied with 7-8 wins anymore. They want to take it to the next level, obviously, and they're unafraid of Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA coming in.
Yeah, very confident program right here. Again, built a lot of momentum through this offseason.
That ball is knocked down. Hands on it for Renwick. Off the edge, got hands on the Billy Edwards pass.
Yeah, Renwick, great job getting vertical, getting right in the throwing lane. He's a Baltimore native. Guy has to show up. Watch him get in the throwing lane of the RPO right here. Pulls it out of his belly. Look at that fur. That's just like you on the hoop court. Block shot.
Well, that was more Donovan Klingen than anything. National championship winning center for UConn men's basketball. On a 3rd down, Edwards. And a bullet complete. Prather makes the sliding catch, and there's the arm strength for Edwards with the flag down at his feet.
And that's great communication inside out. You could hear the communication from the offensive line. Back to Roman Hemby, picked it up.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 7. That penalty is a 4. Automatic 1st down.
Stafford gets the penalty. Roman Hemby picks up the corner blitz right there. Just late. He pulls up. He knew it. Not you know, the most malicious roughing the passer of all time, but definitely late. And Stafford knows it.
Late and kind of on the borderline of that passing posture that the officials look for.
Defenseless area. Yep.
And passing posture for the officials is during or right after quarterback is ready to throw the football. So tack that on. Whoa, that snap hits the motion man and goes careening to the sideline.
Wow. Game one.
You could hear that.
Yeah, again, watch this look. They're communicating. They're trying to check to something else. Colton Berger sees this front right here. There's 2 guys over my face. That's on Billy Edwards right there. You got to let that either snap it sooner, right, first, or let him bypass. That's game 1 against a different look. Probably have never practiced it necessarily against that look. Coach Locksley going, man, I look good, but that's not how we designed it.
I look good, but that didn't.
That's exactly. 4-man rush.
So after Knotts has it careen off the knee pad, Ty Felton is out of his reach. And good coverage from Jordan Wright, transfer from Kansas State in his first year at UConn.
K-State could play some defense, little outside leverage. He knows who he's dealing with there. Gets back over the top and then does whatever that is. Is that a sword? What was that? Sheathing.
It's the seat belt.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. Big pop for Prather on the screen, and he's back near the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down, and the field goal unit's running on for Maryland.
Little, screen fest here for both teams, anticipating pressure. Nice design. That time they played zone, only brought 4. Not able to convert that long 3rd down.
It'll be a 29-yard field goal attempt for Jack Howes. He had some pressure in camp. He's a returning starting place kicker for Maryland. Took over for Chad Ryland.
Yeah, brought in Gavin Marshall, the Oklahoma transfer. And you said that was a great question to Coach Loxley. What was his response? Competition made him way better, like most people.
And that is good inside the upright.
Yes.
Little room to breathe inside the post. But Howe's first field goal of the year is through. Not the result Mike Loxley wanted on that drive. After the snap hit Shalik Knotts. Well, Maryland has a new superfan as of this offseason. Mike Loxley in his hip pocket today. Wale.
He's been at a ton of practices. Yep. Hey, Coach, I don't remember when we snapped it off the guy's leg and, why is he kicking it out of Coach? We don't want to do that anymore, right? It's good advice. Coach Locke says, okay, you're right. Strong chain game from Wale today.
Yeah, we need a jet sweep freestyle coming soon from Wale. He's probably complimenting Mike Loxley on his off-season evolution, don't you think? 90 pounds down from the end of the 2023 year.
Looks phenomenal, energized. I loved his attitude about everything. Just positive. We're going forward. Instead of gushers, I eat grapes, and he goes, hey, yeah, did I take some medicine? Heck yeah, I did. Right? He owned everything, said he's unbelievable for his mental health, makes him make smarter choices. And again, it's showing on the field with the quarterbacks, with the program in general. So far, 17 love.
He said he did that to motivate his team in a way, right?
Yeah.
We're going to take the next step, being more than a 7-8 win team. Got to sacrifice a little bit.
Yeah, that was his. A human.
Right. Lewis Hansen with his first catch at tight end. The Michigan transfer connects with Nick Evers.
Nice, again, drive starter, first play type of thing. Just make a little over the ball route from Hansen. Get it in his hands. Get a feel-good completion here for Nick Evers.
We have a lot of Big Ten flavor on this UConn offense. Evers was at Wisconsin. Just connected with Hansen, tight end from Michigan. And he's looking for another one of those guys and drops it in the bucket to Skylar Bell. Both guys came from Wisconsin, consider each other best friends. They hook up for the first time in a college game.
This is a big box fade. You can use that whole area one-on-one with Whitaker. Gives him a little left-hand shove, a right-hand catch, and he loves it. A huge completion for Evers.
Pop out to TJ Sheffield. So all the Big Ten guys, former Big Ten guys, getting involved. That's TJ Sheffield coming from Purdue. This was Bell.
Jeremy didn't watch that left-hand post. Doesn't really get away with it. Whitaker with the pole, and he says, we work on this drill a bunch. Skylar Bell, that is such a huge play for that young man right there. His first real action in a long, long time.
Mel Brown runs into Donnell Brown, and Jordan Phillips cleaning that play up as well. So 3rd and short.
The Gardner-Webb transfer, they love this guy. Been very impressed with his physicality. Watched his tape last year. Again, a versatile guy, very similar makeup to Cam Edwards, to Victor Rosa. So he fits that profile of a tough guy, versatile, great with the ball in his hands in space. Probably 2 plays here, given the time and score.
Going for it no matter what, you're saying.
Yeah.
On a 3rd and 2. Play fake to Edwards. Evers on the roll and off balance. His receiver could not work back to it. TJ Sheffield was down there with space.
Yeah, he was down there with space, and that's one of those ones where Nick Evers goes, hey, man, if you just stop right there, watch the route develop. You've got the vertical cut by Bell, which turns it to a high corner, and he's trying to stop him in that void because there was too much traffic outside, and just better defense than could happen right there, and sets up a field goal opportunity for Coach Moore.
So here's Jim Mora's new kicker, Chris Freeman, from 43 yards out. And Freeman pulls that.
That's in that dead zone right there for him and for Coach Moore. That's why I thought they might go for that again. 17-0. Totally understand why he did that right there. And you want to get your new kicker, as you said, off to a good start. Unfortunately, just wide left like Max Linewan's driver.
That would have gone the other way. Head hanging a little bit for Jim Mora. So were you thinking maybe a run there to set up a potential fourth down?
Yeah, maybe an RPO or playing through Nick Evers' strengths, playing to that, get in the option game, get a quarterback run. Play action pass, certainly fits into that realm, but that's where Maryland knows that too, right? So they're gonna see these edges contested a bunch.
And Nolan Ray with his second touch, and he quickly finds out that not every touch this year is going to be a touchdown. Goes for short gain. Lee Millette flying over there to make that tackle.
Yeah, you see Octavian Smith's worth right there. They love his physicality. He's flat backing dudes. Nolan Ray, a medium one right there. Light one.
Had the 48-yard touchdown on his first touch. Fake to Ray here. And a flip for Ty Felton. Busy first half for Felton. Continues with a first down and a little flip out from Billy Edwards.
Yeah, Damon Brinson coming out of the sky there. This is what you talk about, tackling in space. Watch number 3. Coming right in your picture right there. Just can't make the play, but at least stretches it out and lets his buddies help him out. They are without, we got to remember, Durante Jones serving that suspension from a targeting penalty from last season, has to sit out the remainder of this first half. They're playing without one of their better defensive backs.
Edwards well protected and behind Smith. Couldn't put it on the numbers for Octavian Smith. The UConn secondary shorthanded in a lot of ways. Dean Ingram was expected to be a starting safety. He's injured. Malik Dixon-Williams was expected to be their starting dog safety, which is the third DB in that safety room.
Yep, and their base, they need 5 of them, right? For their base, a 3-3-5 system is what they base out of. You can see that look right there on the field. 3-3-5 right there. And Monte Jones is going to wait till the second half. Wait till you see me. And that tries to protect those guys pre-snap. Billy Edwards diagnoses it right here.
Edwards slides and takes a big pop. Jordan Wright knocks the helmet off, and a flag flies in also. When Andre Roy over there.
Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
The left tackle came in to protect his quarterback, and a flag just came out on that action also.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I get, his frustration. He's got to go get his guy out of there, get Billy Edwards out of there, make sure he's all right. Don't create any further issues for your own guys. 100% going to be a penalty on UConn. Billy Edwards recognizes the 3-man rush, gets outside, gets down, and late high contact from Jordan Wright. No doubt about the slide. It's late in the slide, so that's where he becomes a defenseless player in the category of targeting. So now is it forcible contact to the head or neck area, and you see Roy coming over, and he gets in his face, but I think Mike Pereira and I, as almost always, are going to be on the same page.
There were multiple fouls committed by both teams. After the play, personal foul, late hit with targeting, defense, number 9. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 55. Those fouls will offset the previous play as under further review.
So the key there is late hit. That's a penalty with targeting. That's the reviewable portion.
Correction.
And it was number 0.
Number 0.
Yeah. Yeah, they got that correct. And let's bring in Mike Pereira for our first encounter of the season.
The first encounter. Yeah, this is my first encounter now. Even though they offset, you're still looking at the targeting aspect because that player would be ejected. Now, you've got a hit on a defenseless player because as he's starting to break down here, You can see he starts to break down plays essentially over there. So he gets protection to the head and neck area. Doesn't have to be helmet. Doesn't have to be crown of the helmet. Just contact to the head or neck area, in this case with the shoulder. Actually pretty close. It's pretty close because it's close to shoulder contact.
You can see that.
But if you're going to lean, when it comes to player safety, you would lean toward the targeting call here. And it's a pretty vicious hit, obviously.
Yeah, and that's the look right there. And as you said, the viciousness probably, the helmet being on the ground, the helmet coming off accentuates that. But yeah, the contact to the face mask. What did you think about the penalty on Andre Roy Jr.?
I really didn't get a good look at that. Because I was just focusing on the element of targeting here. And so, it is one of those, when you see this here, you almost, you need to throw. You need to call something because you're worried now about the game getting out of hand. And
great point.
After further review, the foul for targeting has been confirmed. Defense number 0 is disqualified.
Well, and one thing as a reminder for college football fans tuning in for the first time this year, targeting cannot stand. It's either confirmed or they take it off the board. So Mike was talking about kind of that gray area. It was close to the head and neck area, but
yeah, that look we had, almost the wider look was the better look there, where you could see the contact. I think the first contact was the face mask. That's the head or neck area by definition, and Mike was absolutely right.
So strong first encounter with Mike Pereira on the year. Nailed it as usual.
And I could lip read right there, Coach Loxley saying, "Hey, what was our penalty for?" And Andre Roy, and I think Mike Pereira made the best point of all. Bring it down, right? Bring down the temperature of the whole thing. He gets over on their sideline, confronts him. I totally get it. And we don't know what was said, and the flop by right there accentuated the whole situation.
Well, so Wright done for the game. Comes in the first half, so he will be ready to go in UConn's second game of the year. Here's Prather. And on a 3rd and 4, sheds a tackle. And he has a first down. Caden Prather chased down by Renwick.
Dangerous
after a first down.
Dangerous. 6'3", 210, screen in space. Watch him stay square once he cuts right here, gets vertical, stays square, stays powerful, avoids that first contact, 1st and 10.
Well, if you're Prather and Felton now, Jordan Wright was just disqualified from the game.
You're licking your chops.
Plus all the other injuries for UConn in the secondary as Hemby breaks free for a first down. You have 3 injuries back there for UConn coming in. Plus, you have Ronte Jones out for this first half from his targeting, and now Jordan Wright is out for the game.
And Mike Loxley, we'll see what he does here. We've got the new 2-minute timeout. That's not the 2-minute warning, that's the cousin, right? 2-minute timeout here. Billy Edwards saying, hey, let's finish this with a touchdown instead of a field goal.
We'll see this new 2-minute timeout at the end of the second quarter and the end of the game in the fourth quarter as well in college football this year. Maryland driving, leading 17-0 at the 2-minute timeout and the opener in 2024.
How much they've just believed and bled through him. Fun to see pay off.
Hemby stacked up on the edge there. Took a pop by Langston Hardy and lost a yard on that play. Roman Hemby, it's his 3rd year as the main back for Maryland. Timeout called by UConn. With 57 seconds left on the clock, hoping to get the ball back for the second half. Baseball night in America tonight. The Braves are trying to hold on to that last wild card spot against the Phillies. It's the Brewers and the Reds. The Brewers running away with the NL Central. Ellie De La Cruz showcased tonight. One of the most electrifying players in Major League Baseball for the Reds. Mike Loxley in the offseason. As you know, the Orioles are the best teams in baseball this year.
Oh, I like it.
That was a strike.
A little Jim Palmer. A little off the mound there. Come on, get back. Look at that. Called his own strike, too. I like it.
Brandon Hyde, if he needs a righty for the playoff push. Mike Loxley, his guy.
Jim Moore right here, 2nd and long. You get that dent on that second long, minute and 1 second left. Great use of his timeouts here. Get the ball back, get your young quarterback some experience, and get back in this game.
And remember, UConn won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they can get a stop, maybe get the ball back and score. Find yourself right back in it. You score out of halftime. A lot of ifs there.
Yes.
Billy Edwards is thinking about 24-0 lead going into halftime.
No ifs about that.
Nope.
Right there.
Definitely off.
Love
Tarp is definitely off. Edwards running away and throws it near the turf. It was plucked out of there. And another timeout taken by UConn with 52 seconds left.
Nice defense, great use of timeouts. They had a little double move, screen and go.
University of Connecticut.
Great defense by Jim Moore Jr.
Well, let's check in with Mike Hill, see what's coming up on the State Farm Halftime Show.
Please set the stage.
Coming up on the State Farm Halftime, top-ranked Georgia and number 14 Clemson battle in Atlanta while Penn State opens the season with its sights set on the playoffs. Plus, Acho and Coach Pete picked their most intriguing storyline of 2024. It's just getting started, but we're ready to roll. Connor and Mark, see you at the half.
Well, Mike, thank you very much. 13-3 Penn State in Morgantown, I'm told.
Oh.
There's a 2-minute timeout.
Interesting.
In the second quarter. All right, so talk to me play calling here for Maryland. You got the lead. You don't get the first down. Clock's winding. UConn's going to take a timeout. Do you force them to take the timeout, or do you go for the 12 yards and keep the drive going?
Oh yeah, you're trying to convert here, no doubt about it. You're under a minute. You still have 2 timeouts. You can kind of do anything you want after this first end, so you got to convert. Right? They're not in a situation with Billy Edwards in terms of we doubt him. We better throw a screen, better run a draw. They can just play football and get their best play. 4-man rush.
He hits Prather, but an open field tackle is made on the perimeter by Cam Chadwick, and there's the timeout for UConn. He was hanging on for dear life.
He was. Hey, all you got to do right. Look at all this space down here. A little hitch, a little corner route over the top of that. Great job doing just that. He knows how much he has to gain. Had to get 9 yards there. Tackle this guy down. Great job by Chadwick, Cam Chadwick. That's a big time play right there, and that's a win for that defense in that situation. Great job playing off there, playing a little soft, 2-deep zone. Good reaction by Billy Edwards to get it in the right spot as well.
And Cam Chadwick, a new starter at cornerback for UConn. Even more pressure on him now. Jordan Wright, who we just saw a shot of, was kicked out of the game for targeting. He can stay in the team area, but he cannot play in the game. Jordan Wright the rest of the way at corner in his first start for UConn. 33-yard try for Jack Howes, who snuck it in the right upright on his first try. Looking for a 20-point lead before halftime, and Howes is playing with that right upright one more time. 2-for-2 start in 2024 for Jack Howes, and it's 20-zip Terps. We talked about a lot of new across college football. Feels like we're doing this a lot these days. This is what's new in college football this year.
Yeah, incredible. And maybe UConn, right? We can do a little fog in there in the Big 12 conference here. A lot of noise behind that, becoming maybe the best basketball conference in the world. But just mayhem. Got to get your patches on. You got, Texas and OU and their SEC, the Big Ten getting bigger and better as well. And Maryland with the shutout so far, so good at this site. Tim Moore Jr. going to figure things out at halftime. If they're unable to get anything going on this return in this first drive, they get the ball back first in the second half.
Better hair, that fan or Glendon Miller?
I'm going to go that fan. That's passion. Glendon Miller's pretty sweet, though.
You're ready to give him all hair team. First tackle he made today. Couple of touchdowns, couple of field goals for the Terps. And 43 seconds to operate against the stingy Maryland defense. Looking like a Big Ten defense to start this season.
They have been phenomenal. We knew about the veterans, and there they come. Glendon Miller coming out of nowhere. getting him on the ground, rallying to it right there with Trader and company. Jordan Phillips says, I can run too. I'm only 320, but I'm inside out and I'm fast. Brian Williams, defensive coordinator, very confident in a calm way, very calculated, very intelligent play caller. And you can just see kind of the gears that he's pulling and moving around with a very talented unit.
This defense has gotten better in every single year. It's been a progression. Now in year 4 as the coordinator, and that ball is picked off. There's Glendon Miller, his first pick of the year, and a takeaway for the Terps.
I was just about to say, this is where you can work with your young quarterback and get him some invaluable reps. Absolutely not at all what you want to do throwing behind, but the Terp fans love it. A very similar route concept to where we saw that last hitch throw, a little smash concept, and he sits on it and eats it.
No question, did he get under it?
Take a look right here.
Replay taking a look at that, and I think he did.
And no doubt about that. It's firm control. From my eye, Coach Moore goes, man, we had a good plan right there. Just check it down, just run, just throw it away. Don't give him the rock back, and it has been confirmed. Stance party.
Well, one of the best takeaway teams in the country last year. Maryland, second in the Big Ten in picks. They have their first, and Edwards right back to work. Over the middle, he throws a seed for a first down.
Great feel right there by Wade of just showing 6'2", 238. Not the tallest tight end in the world, but great body control.
On the ball quick, Edwards complete again. It's Wade again, tight roping the sideline.
Out of bounds right there. They'll huddle up in this situation. Wade had a chance. He just had to secure that. There was nobody left. Both DBs right there went with Ty Felton. Couldn't regain his feet and stay in bounds, but that gives Maryland a chance to work on a little bit more red zone with 1st and goal.
Well, UConn was hoping getting the ball back 20-3, 20-7 at best going into halftime. Now Maryland thinking 27-0. And it's Hemby. That clock will move.
Timeout.
Maryland takes their second timeout.
UConn right there overloading the box, a 7-man box, very difficult to run into. And unfortunately, I think that is Jelani Stafford down, one of their best guys up front.
Their second.
Never what you want to see. The only positive right here is we've seen him move a little bit. They try to stabilize him. It's good to see him at least interacting and moving around. The absolute worst part of football when the trainers go on the field, man. These guys are unbelievable. He's a tough dude right there. Brownsville, PA, Youngstown State transferred. A lot of tough dudes from Youngstown State.
So Stafford walking off. The nose guard went down on this 2nd and goal play.
Carlton Berger just trying to drive block him and coming off and just wrapping up Roman Hemby. Probably, probably in that stinger category. Don't want to guess, but.
Maryland has 2 timeouts.
So Maryland, because of a defensive injury, that's what our referee, Art Brown, was just saying, that Maryland did not have to use that timeout, so they still have 2. 16 seconds to do anything you want here.
And they choose to pull it out, and to the end zone, it is incomplete. Pass incomplete from Edwards. He had a tight end leaking out. LaRon Husbands could not quite get under it.
Billy Edwards Jr., just a little delicate finish right there. And Husbands cannot do what Glendon Miller did, get the hands underneath. You can see a great design there. You've got Wade and Husbands sliding to the backside, great crossing action. Hits the ground.
Edwards back to the end zone for Felton. Can't make the twisting catch. Good coverage from Damon Brinson to bring up 4th down.
Great coverage right there on the perimeter. A zero blitz pressure right here from Matt Brock and company. They are bringing the house. And that's, again, a big box fade, a version of that. You got all that room to work. That Maryland flag well defended by Damon Brinson.
Well, Brinson leading that embattled safety room right now. 2 injuries, 1 suspension in this first half. And with Ronte Jones expected back out of halftime after the targeting.
Billy Edwards, that was the man. I would like to have that one back again. A little bit more chance, a little bit more air, a little bit more space.
And a good first half for Jack Howes, 3 for 3 on field goals, and Jim Mora's defense holds Maryland to a field goal after the pick by Evers.
Yeah, their best option right here is to give it that field goal. Great pick, getting the hands underneath. Like Glendon Miller goes, let's go celebrate. Offense, you go score a touchdown. Not so fast.
What have you thought of Billy Edwards? 1 half into being the starter.
Looks like his first start as the starter with the guys. Again, other than the bowl game, and what I meant by that, we were talking about this earlier, the momentum. Billy Edwards, I think, gave these fans, gave his teammates, his coaches a ton of confidence going into the offseason, and you just kept building on that. And some of these day one things like that last play, they've done that 1,000 times. Not against that look, not against that DB. Man, I should have given. They're probably looking at that right now. Do I give him a little bit more air and give you a landmark and a little bit more space to the sideline? Those are, feather-like things, but he's been physical, had the one kick snap, but so far so good. A lot to build on. Most importantly, 23 love.
Well, the new rule at the tablet should expedite the learning for Edwards, right? Each team is allowed 18 sideline tablets. You can watch in-game video. You can't watch any scouting video or practice video, anything like that, but in-game live feedback.
No, it's valuable. We were joking about this in the offseason. It allows kind of your bad coaches make adjustments after the games. Average coaches make adjustments at halftime. Great coaches make adjustments throughout, and that's kind of leveling the playing field that way. Had some good comments from Chuck Martin the other day about that as well. It was funny. And Jim Moore Jr. and UConn are taking it to the house and talking about it.
So Maryland pitches a first-half shutout. They had 1 first-half shutout last year against Nebraska. Let's send you back to Mike Hill in the LA studios at the break in College Park.
All right, fellas, all Maryland in the first half up 23-0 over UConn as we welcome you to the State Farm Halftime Show inside our LA studios. It is Mike Hill, EA Sports, Emmanuel Acho, and, of course, the coach, Chris Peterson, hanging out with you. Good to see you, too. Good to see you guys as well. Good to see Maryland looking good without Talia Tagovailoa moving on, man. Billy Edwards doing the job, known as a running quarterback, showing off his arm there in the first half as you take a look at the State Farm Halftime highlights. Coach.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Coach Helfrich said. That last one there, that little 3-yard pass that he didn't make, that's a gimme. That's going to show up later. He's got to make those. But I thought he was really clean for the first half. 16 for 21, 156 yards, a touchdown. He's known as a power runner. He had 4 runs for 30 yards. I think this is as good of a first half as you can hope for that first game. Really clean.
Yeah. Exactly right. What I loved was that first touchdown pass early. The defense, they tried to show a max pressure, something called show 88. It's truly a drop 8 coverage, but they want to show a max pressure so the quarterback hurries up his timing in his head. Edwards, he wasn't phased at all whatsoever, delivers a strike, and we've really seen a clean game, as Coach said, especially for the first game.
Good balance, 22 passes, 163 yards. Good running, 23 rushes, 165 yards. Maryland trying to win a season opener for the 4th straight year, a half away from doing that. Hey, Drew Aller, he's got a new offensive coordinator. We're going to show you how 8th-ranked Penn State's offense looks against West Virginia. It's a little different. Number 14, Clemson, and top-ranked Georgia, battling it out in Atlanta. And as you would expect, defenses making huge statements in this one early on. We got the highlights for you. College football is back, baby.
Welcome back to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Maryland with touchdowns on its first 2 possessions. Ty Felton getting into the end zone here. They're up 23-0 at the half. Back inside, Mike, EA, and the coach hanging out with you. Top-ranked Georgia into the season as the Vegas favorite to win the national title this year. Ohio State, a close second. Well, today the Bulldogs open their season in Atlanta against 14th-ranked Clemson. Clemson has missed the playoffs the last 3 years, and Carson Beck, a Heisman candidate right here, Dylan Bell.
No doubt about it. This has been a hard-fought defensive battle. Right there, you see Beck, who is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in football this year, delivering a strike.
But Clemson's defense tightens up inside the red zone right there. Peter Woods, the big sack right there, led to a Bulldogs field goal, 3-0. Later in the drive, Beck, they got to replace Big Brock Bowers.
I think this is Carson Beck at his finest. Look how smooth he looks just delivering that strike.
Right there, Lawson lucky. Right now, as expected, defensive battle, 6-0 right now, Georgia on top. Penn State, number 8 in the nation, taking on West Virginia. This is on Fox. Garrett Green, the boys going for it on 4th down, but Penn State's defense, as usual, stiffens, stops them, turnover on down. Big thing, can the offense pick it up with Drew Allen? Downfield right here to Harrison Wallace III. Did I say downfield? I did say downfield. 50-yard touchdown. Penn State up 6-0 after the 2-point conversion fails. Then Katron Allen, just get the ball to that kid right there.
No question. Nice check down. Good things happen when you get into the playmakers.
All right. It's just happening. Penn State, red zone. Once again, Allen. Harrison Wallace again. His second touchdown, and right now, Penn State up 20-6. Once again, that game over on Fox. We just saw Drew Allen throwing the football down the field. Andy Koltnicki making a difference, offensive coordinator for Penn State.
If you're a Penn State fan, you got your pom-poms and popcorn, and you are cheering. I think this is what we all been waiting to see. You know that Penn State's going to play defense. You know that Drew Aller's got all this talent. Can we unleash that talent? And I think you see it in this first half here. It's so nice. Last year, Aller was 89th in yards per attempt, 6.8, and now he's well over 11 yards in this first half. You can see the creativity. It's so awesome to see Koltnicki get this thing open, stacking receivers, bringing guys underneath. If they can keep building on this, Penn State is going to be somebody to reckon with. And I know you like them.
I like them in the Big Ten this year. I know Ohio State's good, but I think Penn State's going to take it this year. 20-6 right now. Aller, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns. They're up, and you know that defense is going to play well. Yeah. Speaking of defense, we knew defense is going to be the key between Clemson and Georgia, and that's what we got so far.
Sometimes boring games are the best games, and that's what we're seeing with Clemson and Georgia. It's really a boring game because there's not a lot of points, but Georgia, like a boa constrictor, is just squeezing the life out of Clemson. Clemson only averaging, Coach, 2.8 yards per carry. If you can't run the ball, you can't do anything. So we're really seeing a defensive slugfest. I do believe Clemson's going to have to get a big play in the second half if they want to compete. They got one play over 15 yards thus far in the first half. They're going to need explosives if they want to have a contest late in the game.
See if Cade Klubnik and the guys can get it done on offense for Clemson. Tight game. We'll keep you posted all day long right here on FS1. Hey, meanwhile, later today, be sure to catch Nebraska hosting UTEP as the UConn Huskies begin year 2 under Matt Rule. Usually year 2 under Matt Rule is a good year.
Means something.
That's at 3:30 Eastern on Fox. With schools changing conferences, players switching teams, and stars getting paid, what is the most intriguing storyline of 2024? We're going to ask these fellas coming up right after the break. Once again, Maryland rolling, Nolan Ray, touchdown run, Terps on top, 23-0 over UConn.
Welcome back to the State Farm FS1 College Football Halftime Show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Take you around the nation. Could this be the year Tennessee sneaks into the playoffs? Taking on Chattanooga, Dylan Sampson, handoff into the end zone. Ball's up 7-0. We got this new quarterback, Nico Mialeva, to Ethan Davis. Got to get used to that name.
You don't have to. He's going to make you get used to it.
He's going to be a good one. 4-yard touchdown. Volunteers lead at 14-0. Mialeva.
One of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school a year ago, and he's showing up.
Yeah, rolling 31-0 over Chattanooga. Virginia Tech at Vandy. Diego Pavia to Quincy Skinner. How about Vandy on top?
How about Vandy? Virginia Tech's supposed to be pretty good. So is Vandy, I guess.
Down there in Nashville, Cedric Alexander powering in.
That's what I love about week one, Coach. You're supposed to be something, but you got to go out there and prove it.
You never know. 17-3 going into the fourth. Austin Peay, Louisville. Tyler Shuck is going to find Corey Brooks. 9-yard touchdown. Great catch.
If Tyler Shuck stays healthy, Louisville's going to do some damage this year.
It's 24-0 here in the second quarter. More from Shuck. He's going to throw it up for Mark Redmond. Watch this catch.
Mark Redmond, heck of a tight end. We signed him back in the day at Washington. He's a good player.
38-0. Is he like a 9-year senior?
Yeah, yeah.
Number 25, Iowa, Illinois State. Seth Wallace filled in for Kirk Ferentz. Hey, question mark is always the offense. The defense always plays for Iowa, though.
Well, the one thing you know about Iowa, it's death, taxes, and the Iowa offense that don't really change. Acho?
You're exactly right about that one, but that defense, ball out. That's something that you practice. That's not a coincidence right there. Great play by the Iowa defense.
Always a storyline with Iowa in his offense, no matter who the offensive coordinator is. But we got a lot of storylines, a lot of intrigue going into this season. New places, new faces, new places, teams, new conferences, of course, the 12-team playoff. What's the most intriguing storyline of 2024?
Well, I think there's so much change going on in college football. It makes your head spin, and so many good things to talk about. But probably the best thing for me is this new 12-team college football playoff. I can't believe it's 10 years that it's taken us to get here. I love how it's set up. The first 4 highest-ranked conference champs get byes. I mean, that is huge. I would give my right arm as a coach to go into the playoffs with a bye. And then we got 5 through 8 getting a home field playoff game on campus.
On campus.
Awesome. And then a debate that's going to go on 9 through 12. It's not going to be just 12. They're going to be probably debating up to 60, the next 8 teams who really deserves to be in, strength of schedule. The committee's going to have a hard job really determining strength of schedule from these different conferences. It's going to be fascinating.
And at 9 to 12 could be a conference champion depending on where they're ranked, too. So they could be an automatic bid.
Brilliantly said. For me, Coach, it's about the new faces and new places. My coach always said, be a thermostat, not a thermometer, meaning make the teams adjust to you. USC, Oregon, are you going to make the Big Ten adjust to you, or are you going to adjust to the Big Ten? Miller Moss, Lincoln Riley, when y'all go out there and spread it out against the teams like Iowa, against the teams like Michigan, against the Wisconsins of the world, are you going to make them adjust to your spread offense, or are you going to have to adjust to the two-back powers, to the leads, to the ISOs? Can you force the Big Ten to play your style of play? And then obviously the Texas and the Oklahomas as they navigate the SEC. So for me, Coach, it's about the new faces and the new places. Will they adjust to their conference, or will they force the conference to adjust to them?
I love that. And then you throw Texas, Oklahoma in the SEC. I mean, Texas is ready to roll, so that's going to be awesome. I think the other thing is, the coolest thing about college football, there's so many great young quarterbacks coming up.
Yeah.
And even guys that maybe been there a little bit, like the Carson Becks. Is he going to take the next step? But you got the Jackson Arnolds at Oklahoma. You got Avery Johnson at Kansas State. There's all these guys that I saw 2 years ago in the Elite 11 that you're like, these guys are going to be phenomenal. And now it's their time to shine. There's just so many of them. We could talk for an hour on just all these guys. Who's going to elevate their team? Because the one thing I know is you're not winning much. I don't care what style of offense you run unless you got a great quarterback.
Talk about it, Coach.
Yeah, and the transfers, Cam Ward down to Miami. Watch out for him, too.
Amen.
Of course, have a lot of attention on him down there with the Miami Hurricanes, see if they can come back as well. We'll see if UConn can come back. They can't for this. These interceptions right here. They're down 23-0. Second half coming up.
Walking away from you.
Good action in that first half. 23-0. Billy Edwards in his first start as the Terps quarterback.
That's a good sign.
He's not having any fun at all. Yeah. All loose for Billy Edwards. Glad you're back with us, Mark Helfrich, Connor Onion. It helps to be that loose when you have guys around you like Ty Felton and Caden Prather for Billy Edwards, and he went to those guys early and often in the first half.
Yeah, we talked about this in the pregame of utilizing your weapons. Well done. Almost perfectly balanced offensively. It's been Felton doing it the hard way on that first touchdown pass. It was a little bit easier, again, showing himself, and then Prather being physical. If you're number one in this game, you're playing great on offense and on defense. But the best thing about these guys is they're unselfish. They're playing for each other. They're blocking. Prather's doing a little bike work. Felton just got hopped off. And you look at that production yardage-wise, and then almost perfectly balanced, 165 through the air, 163 on the ground. It couldn't have gone much better for Mike Locksley and company in that first half.
The outlook of that first half changed in a big way on the first drive. Billy Edwards appeared to fumble. Replay overturned it, and then he hit Felton for a touchdown on the next play.
Yep, and that was the correct call, no doubt about it. You know, we saw those looks as it showed, but a good job of overcoming that scare, even for a young quarterback, Billy Edwards. Even the stuff that didn't count, that fumble, that lingers in your mind a little bit. He played through that, played beyond that. Now we'll see how that man, Nick Evers, can respond in the second half.
Well, what do you think Jim Morrow was saying to his new quarterback, Nick Evers, after a first half where it took a while to complete a ball, finished 6 of 12 through the air?
Yeah, I mean, he's our guy. There's no doubt about that. You're going to reassure all those, things, again, that are natural for a young quarterback who's struggling, gets shut out in that first half. Go back to those base game plan plays, things that Coach Samus and company trust, that he trusts. It's one drive at a time. They can get back in this thing and win it one play at a time.
And Brown lets that go through for a touchback. And we'll get to find out real quickly what Nick Evers has coming out of halftime. They did move the ball in those first couple of drives, but had to punt. And then a pick at the end of it led to no points for Evers in the UConn offense.
Yeah, the pick was really, you had the bad snap, you had the pick. Those are things that are killers for a team that almost, they don't have to play perfectly to win this game, but pretty close. And then, that decision, not good, had a couple drops. That's where everybody has to play for this guy. Everybody has to realize this is his first start of his career and play like it. Wouldn't be surprised if Cam Edwards try to get him going here early as well.
It is Edwards that gets the first touch of the second half, and he squeezes through that hole for a couple extra yards.
Yeah, that was 6 going on. A lot more right there. Great job up front, just getting it started, open a little gap in that front. Cam Edwards, again, fast and physical, 5'11", 210, shot through there. Took a little ankle there or something.
Was a leading rusher last year for UConn. Back pairing with Victor Rosa this year and Mel Brown. This is Rosa in the backfield on 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard gain. Flea flicker. Will he have time? He'll just have to bench it. Ruben Hippolyte was that close
to a
sack.
That was almost trick play disaster. Almost tossed it back. Little flea flicker. Hard sell. Watch 4 coming off the edge. We saw him last year against Rutgers doing this same thing. Great job of trusting his eyes, going. Good reaction by Nick Evers to not make a bad play worse.
And a delayed flag comes out.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 3. That penalty is enforced at the spot of the foul and includes a loss and down.
That's interesting because there was a receiver generally in the area, it looked like to me. And then also he was probably outside I would call that outside the tackle box. I guess I'm probably giving a little generosity for the closest location of that receiver. That's how that's administered, though. Jim Moore Jr. certainly doesn't like it, but that's usually a quote-unquote late call. Communicate, hey, referee, where was the throw from? And then everybody down there, field judge, side judge, whoever he's communicating with on the location of the receiver, they deemed him not close.
And so loss of down included. Now 3rd and 14 for a backed-up UConn offense. Evers taking a shot, and that is incomplete. He had his tallest receiver, Anderson, down there, but he was in double coverage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, this is one of the ones, he's behind him. Watch this right here, just a little inside release, and he doesn't think he's going to get the ball, so he pulls up, and then it's a pretty good throw. Maybe a hair late, but man, you run through that catch with 2 hands, make that play for the young QB again.
Jalen Husky got a few fingertips on it, club it away. New corner for Maryland this year from Bowling Green. Kozlowski weaving his way across the 40. And a flag came out back at the 35. Opposite end of the field of that return.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 2. That 10-yard penalty is enforced for an end kick. First down.
It's on Braden Lee, true freshman corner.
Yeah, you can't get much more balanced than that. You know, you say as a coach, hey, we want to be 50-50 when we're kind of in the ball control downs, the first and second downs. And that's you literally, you know, could script it better.
Well, last year, Josh Gaddis, first year as the play caller on offense for Maryland, it was 60% pass, 40% run. It was very West Coast flavored with Talia Tagovailoa at quarterback.
And that was their strength, right? He's the all-time leading passer in the history of the conference for a reason. That was their strength, and they're not going to go away from that with the talent they have on the perimeter and how Billy Edwards can complement these guys. They're not going to go away from that. But Roman Hemby, yep. Nolan Ray, yep.
You hear offensive coordinators sometimes, I'm sure you've said it during your time as an offensive coordinator, balance doesn't always mean you're splitting it 50-50. But this looks like it's going to be a more balanced team by the play selection and by how they can beat you.
Exactly, and the key in that is you got to be able to run the football. And if you can run the football, you can do anything, right? Because the play action pass opens up. You got to defend that box, which UConn has tried to do with 5 and 6. You see these safeties deep. Good reaction.
Edwards keeps his eyes downfield and is on target. Ty Felton with another big hitter. Out across the 40 with another Maryland first down.
He indicated for you, first down. Great work here by Billy Edwards, almost on cue. The safeties are playing way off. As we have a UConn Husky down here.
Officials timeout for injured defensive player.
It's Jack Barton, defensive end for UConn.
Watch Ty Felton coming in motion here. Off one of those run looks. He's working the middle of the field and then just finds that space. Sees the safety spacing develop with Millette out of the picture up top. Really good recognition by Billy Edwards as well. Great eyes, good finish as much as he can. Get his hips to those the target of Ty Felton. He adds to his stat sheet.
Well, right in the middle of the screen. That's where Barton came in and went down.
Yeah, Nolan Ray, good job of helping, staying high. He can't cut there with the engaged offensive lineman. Good to see him up, getting off on his own power.
Saw Jelani Stafford go down at that nose tackle position in the first half. He's back out there on this first drive defensively for UConn in the second half.
This is the pick your poison for defensive coordinator Matt Brock. Safety's playing deep, but man, these running backs are good. We got to help in the front. Also help our back end cover.
After Edwards threw for a 39-yard gain, he has Gordine riding on his back for 8 yards.
And then that's the trump card, the number that makes it right, the unblockable quarterback run. It's a two-back run, effectively, when the tailback becomes a blocker. And again, that's the second time we've seen Gordine go for a ride.
What does a piggyback ride feel like from a guy that's 295?
I would have gone down about 7 yards sooner, I'll tell you that.
Just heard the footsteps.
Absolutely. Oh, that was a nice cut.
And a nice bounce out for Ray and a first down for the redshirt freshman back, Nolan Ray. He is exactly like the Terps coaching staff talked about him, explosive, the explosive back in that room.
Yeah, so natural right here. Watch his cut. This is in slow motion, obviously. That little chair cut, you're going straight, 90-degree left, 90-degree vertical. That is hard to do with that speed.
Now, Ray is the fastest guy in that room. He's been clocked at 23 miles an hour.
Just like you, right? 23, 24.
Well, he shows some patience here. Burst into the second level. Ball comes out. Flag comes out.
Got flags out. Got balls out. Going to be a hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 55. 10-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul. First down.
It's the new left tackle, Andre Roy. Of course, everybody is new along that front. So that's not unique to him at left tackle.
Yeah, Mike Locksley, I thought, was, again, another guy he's very encouraged about, a young, talented dude. Let's watch what he does here. Initial lock up. Not a ton of hold there, but maybe on that different angle.
Edwards empties it out, off the fake, over the middle, complete to Felton again. And he's sandwiched down inside the 5 with a first down for the Terps.
Maryland's going to go fast here, but this is a great hard sell play action. Get to the top of your trap. Bang, bang, going fast.
Well, back up to the line quickly and a touchdown, Roman Hemby. 2 big plays from Felton to get him down there, and Hemby caps it off with his first touchdown of the year.
Again, when you can run the ball, you can do anything. Hard sell play action on the previous play opens up for Felton, and right now, just ground chuck 66, Alu Ba leading the way. And then that.
Then that.
Billy Edwards said, yep, let's do that again. I like that one. Great series by Billy Edwards coming out, setting the tone with we're going to score touchdowns in the second half.
Are you going to take a crack at what exactly that was from Roman Hemby?
I have no idea what that is.
We'll mull it over at the break.
Touchdown. It's going fishing.
Billy Edwards, a couple more big plays on that drive to get Maryland on the board in the second half.
Yeah, big play with a big human on your back, tugging, getting him to the ground, and then this set up the touchdown off the play action fake. Linebacker out of position because he has to be, and then Hemby paying it off with a touchdown run of his own.
So 30-zip Terps, they have not lost a non-conference game, postseason included, going on 3+ years. They are 12-0 in the last 3 seasons at the start of this game.
Yeah, very, very impressive. We were talking about that earlier in the week, just how impressive all of those non-conference statistics are. That's hard to do, hard to be that consistent.
Brown with the shot to return it from inside his 5.
Kicker.
Bounces it to the edge. Beat the kicker. And the herd coming for Maryland, but not before Brown brings that out to the 50.
That's the one, right, man? You got to rally your kickoff team coming out of a halftime. Stuff happens, and there's a big old lane right here. If he would have just run through that to the left, no chance for the kicker. But a nice job of turning it that big inside by lineout Whitaker, and at least slowing him down and making him square up and get some guys on the scene.
Well, biggest play of the day for Maryland.
Mike Locksley saying right there, that's short, man. Short line drive, no time to run down.
Biggest play they've given up, the one explosive through the air for Evers in the offense for UConn. Was a Skylar Bell completion late in the first half. Pulls it out and throws it away. Off target for Bell, we were just talking about.
Yeah, just trying to set up that little slide route coming back to Skylar Bell. It's basically a forward pass, triple option, zone read action, and Maryland sniffed it out. You're right, Bell and Sheffield, the Big Ten connection, and Josiah Gavings, the Akron transfer. Don't sleep on that guy as their season progresses.
And Darrell Robinson into the game, and that's dropped. And a new UConn Husky after transferring from Charlotte. Darrell Robinson, this is a homecoming game for him. Played at St. Francis Academy in Baltimore in high school.
Yeah, that's one of those ones for the QB. Just got to open those hips, drive that, make it catchable. Probably could have been out 2 steps earlier to Cameron or to Darrell Robinson, let him do his work.
And that's knocked down. Donnell Brown swatting it. 4th down, UConn.
Yeah, great diagnosis there. Brian Williams, defensive coordinator, and company defending the edges extremely well. On this side, you see 45. Kellen Wyatt's going to be the edge rusher for anything up top. Donnell Brown, he knows they've got to screen. They got to move the pocket. They got to get this guy on the perimeter. Very well defended. Disaster avoided after that big kickoff return.
Well, the edge on 3rd downs is going to be interesting this year for Maryland. They lost Jayshon Barham to Michigan. And that was touched off the foot of Stutz. And another short punt will bring
we'll take
Edwards and the
it's
offense back up from
flight.
Yeah. Huskies and Terps in the DMV to open up college football Saturday. College football all day on FS1 out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference and the FCS. North Dakota to Iowa State next, then UNLV against Houston. Nightcap, it's Wyoming against Arizona State, all right here on FS1. Connor Onion, Mark Helfrich with you from College Park. We thought this might have been tipped. It actually wasn't, just a straight up shank from Stutz, the punter for UConn.
Yeah, just let it drop too much. They try to get that back spin on it, and it almost became a drop kick, and Coach Mora just getting in his ear, loving him up a little bit, coaching him through it. So far, a tough day at the office for the Huskies against the Terps.
So it's Billy Edwards back on the field at quarterback and buzzes it out to Caden Prather, who has a 1st down. I want to welcome in a new audience to College Park with Mark Helfrich, Connor Onion, Penn State, and West Virginia in a weather delay.
They're welcome here. Good news, bad news. Bad news for Big Ten fans. Talia Tagovailoa has not missed at this point. Billy Edwards has been on fire and on cue. Goes through the hands of another weapon, Nolan Ray, but Billy Edwards now 18 of 24 for 223 and 1 touchdown. Felton has been outstanding. Gabe Prather has been outstanding.
Talia Tagovailoa, the starter for 4.5 years, broke pretty much every single passing record before running out of eligibility, and then it became a 3-man competition for Maryland in camp. Billy Edwards was named the starter on Sunday, but Mike Locksley kept it tight to the vest until the game today started. And Nolan Ray is swallowed up. 3rd down coming up. Edwards started perfect. First 2 drives, boom, boom, boom. A couple of touchdown scoring drives. What's impressed you about what we've seen?
Just his management. You know, they had one kind of missed, timed up situation. Game 1, new center quarterback combination against kind of a funky defense that plays hard. He's got a big nose tackle over him. Can sometimes throw that QB off, but he's been under control, composed, taking care of the rock.
UConn showing pressure, but they bring 4. Edwards throwing behind it, incomplete. Wanted Prather. Coverage was tight from Malcolm Bell, and punt time for the Terps.
Yep. You can see defensive coordinator Matt Brock and Jim Mora Jr. dialing up a couple different pressures in the second half. Just turns it to a one-on-one route up top. Good break by Bell, and got away with one right there from Billy Edwards Jr. with that inside miss. That's dangerous.
Well, West Virginia fans that are flipping over while that game's delayed might remember Caden Prather. He was a Mountaineer before he came to Maryland 2 years ago. He's had a big day to begin year number 2 as a Terp. 6 catches, 60 yards, with Maryland out 30-zip. This is how we've gotten here. Maryland's defense pitched a shutout. Billy Edwards got it started with a touchdown on his first drive.
Tyfel just great body control, showing himself right here. And then Nolan Ray, Mike Locksley described him as wow. And that's a great look at why. Great 3rd level, make a miss touchdown. And then the vice president, he does all the work and gets none of the credit, as Locks told us the other day. Touchdown for Roman Hemby.
He said Roman Hemby's had to sacrifice some of that quiet nature now that he's the 3rd-year guy at running back.
He's been a vocal leader and brought along all of these young talented guys, and Nolan Ray paying dividend for Roman Hemby.
Unfortunately, no committee meetings for him, just running back meetings. Brown off the edge, flag comes in on the first down carry for Mel Brown for UConn.
It's going to be an illegal motion, I think is the initial indication up top.
Illegal motion, offense, number 1, 5-yard penalty, first down.
A lot of guys named Brown involved in that play. Art Brown, the referee, throwing the flag. It was Mel Brown on the carry with Donnell Brown in pursuit on defense.
And Skylar Bell probably knows a guy named Brown. But yeah, we're probably moving forward at the snap of the ball. Top off the motion. Again, game one issue. New quarterback, new center for this team as well.
Brown gets the carry again, and he is lassoed down by Levon Johnson on the defensive line. So we talked about Billy Edwards, the new quarterback for Maryland. Nick Evers comes in as a transfer, first from Oklahoma, then he went to Wisconsin. They're now leading this UConn offense that just got stuffed by Johnson.
Yeah, watch Johnson shed right here on Christopher Fortin. Brown's going to want that run back. He's got the edge set there. Probably could be a vertical cut at that point. Levon Johnson said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll get him down. But yeah, Nick Evers, just a ton of work in progress behind some elite players. Dylan Gabriel, Tanner Mordecai.
Oh, Wheatland crushed the running back, then crushes Evers, the quarterback. It falls incomplete. A show of dominance from Caleb Wheatland.
That's what I was talking about earlier. They have done an exceptional job of kind of knowing their strengths, knowing what Nick Evers has to do, get on the perimeter. What do you do then? You bring different guys to the party as far as setting the edge. You run through the protection, get your guy on the ground. Nick Evers just got to keep running around that, trust his guy to at least give him a shot. And Glendon Miller is back there hoping he would throw him a pick, another pick.
I think Wheatland's going to get a pretty good grade on film. Yes. Him and Brian Williams, the DC, watch that tomorrow.
That was a double star.
Here's one of Evers' biggest strengths. His helmet pops off. Ball comes out too. Traders on top of it. Flags are all over the place. And chaos breaks out at the end of that play.
Earlier in the game, Jordan Wright was ejected for a late hit on Billy Edwards, definitely targeting with a slide. This will be a different situation with Nick Evers. Nick Evers, there was a runner, and we'll see what the call is. As we go forward here, he's going forward the entire time. So now it fits into that non-defenseless category, I believe, if that's what they're discussing right now.
But if he's at the end of that, if he's giving himself up, Mike Pereira, does he become defenseless at that point?
Well,
targeting defense.
So the ruling is that he gave himself up. So yes, when he gives himself up, he is defenseless, and then you can't hit him in the head or neck area. I kind of question that, because when you talk about giving yourself up, you talk about feet first slide. To me, he's still going forward, but that's not really a ruling that replay can make. So the fact that they ruled that he'd given himself up, then he does become defenseless, then that forearm shot to the head is in fact targeting. You don't need the crown of the helmet when you're talking about a defenseless player.
Yeah, so that's exactly, see we're 2 for 2 together right there, and that I agree. And then, because again, right there, that's not really giving himself up, the big difference. And it's ugly, it's to his head. The helmet comes off, but the difference of Billy Edwards earlier, feet first slide. Right here, Nick Evers is fighting for yardage, as again, a young competitive first start guy is doing. Normally that would have to then go, as Mike just said, to that crown of the helmet, to the head and neck area. But we will await on the determination here from Art Brown and company.
Yeah, Mike brought it up. It's not your conventional feet first look.
Right.
It looked like
After
even
further review, there's no foul for targeting. Personal foul, late hit, defense, number 44 will be assessed. First down.
Okay, so Caleb Wheatland gets to stay, but it's a first down for UConn.
Yeah, it gets to stay in. As Mike said, they called it a late hit with targeting.
And Trey
Nice job
Reddick.
there by Trey Reddick, at least a good sport about it, looking out for his fellow baller.
So it takes exactly one game for the backup to play for UConn. The last 3 years, they've had to go to their backup for an extended stretch. This is Joe Fignano, who was the starter out of camp last year.
In the first game, right? In the first or second game in each of the last 2 years. It's just, it's make-believe.
First snap coming off the injury is a give for Fignano. Yeah, 2 games in last year, Fignano had season-ending shoulder surgery. And had to battle back through the winter and the spring, and then competed with Nick Evers, who was named the starter for the job.
Black Bear of Maine. Again, a highly contested quarterback competition, exactly like Maryland's. Coach Moore told us in meetings, he goes, hey, we love Nick Evers. He is really good. We paid him the NIL money. We're going to play him. He's earned it. But Fignano was not an afterthought in any way, shape, or form. And unfortunately, we're going to have to find out.
And so it's not just the one play for Evers. Fignano on his first throw, and nobody home in the middle.
This good little hard sell play action, kind of a max protection on paper for Fignano to come out of here. It's too bad he didn't see Josiah Gathings up top. He ends up clean and takes a hit late. Had the crosser right here, was clean. Just a hair late there, or a hair late to Gathings. Just off rhythm on his first pass. Plain and simple.
So now an obvious passing down for Fignano, and he buzzes that in. First down, hits Bell this time, who's on the move. Skylar Bell, deep into Maryland territory to keep the drive going.
That is a huge conversion by Fignano. They end up bringing 5, trying to get in his kitchen, makes him reset his feet. Let's watch the route concept. Clear all at the tight end, little option route by Bell underneath. Nice job shedding and convert.
Well, Bell has 2 catches. Both have been explosive plays. One in the slot fade and one on the third down. And on the edge of the red zone, Victor Rosa carries UConn into the red zone. Jordan Phillips wrangles him down at the end of the run.
Trying to go fast here. Got to get in 2-minute mode here. 30 to love at this point. Middle of the third quarter, good move.
Joe Fignano at quarterback after Nick Evers went out of the game with his helmet flying off earlier on the drive. And off the chest of Rosa, and was Hippolyte inbounds? They say, yes, he was. Acrobatic juggling interception, Ruben Hippolyte.
This guy does it all, man. Physical. We saw him earlier triggering gaps, setting edges. Now I am in space on the little slide route from Rosa. Hits him right in the shoulder pad. Secures it. Inbounds. First down going the other way.
Wearing Tarheeb Still's number, playing like the NFL DB, his former teammate. First career pick, Ruben Hippolyte, and a memorable image of this one off of the chest of Rosa, and then the dive and the tumble.
Yeah, unbelievable finish. Joe Fignano would love to forget that. Just trying a little ball control route outside to Rosa, getting some love on the sideline and frustration for Skylar Bell.
Bell had the big third down catch to keep the drive going. And then the pick from Hippolyte gives the offense for Maryland a chance to get another look at MJ Morris, who was named second string out of the 3-man quarterback battle. His second drive of the day.
Yeah, second drive of the day. The first one ended on his own volition of the early slide on what would have been a third down conversion and had to punt. I was wondering when they would come back to him in the second half. We have that answer.
Out of empty. Morris, quick fire. And Damon Brinson is right there to make that tackle. As Morris hooked up with Ryan Manning, the redshirt freshman from Baltimore.
A lot more coverage changes, a lot more pressure changes. I don't know how much, it'd be interesting to know how much is that due to Durante Jones missing that first half. There's a bunch more going on defensively for UConn, and part of it obviously trying to change things up and put some pressure on the Maryland passer.
Colby McDonald finds a seam up the middle, stayed on his feet for a couple extra yards. First down, Terps on the 22-yard hit for Colby McDonald.
NB 1, Nolan Ray 2. Here comes Colby McDonald, 5'10", 211, another Maryland native, running through Durante Jones right there, and Rumbling stumbling just short of the 50.
The Terps' new right guard, Alou Ba, came out of the game after that play. Tamaris Walker comes in to replace him. So Morris working behind an offensive line that has all the guys that Billy Edwards got to work with the starters protecting him. And out to the edge for Shalik Knotts. Not much there. Gordine chases him down. You always wonder about the psyche of a quarterback that was close to getting the job, is told he's going to be second string, but this is a way Maryland can keep Morris engaged.
No doubt. I think, I've always felt that that's the measure of that backup quarterback. Are they happy? Absolutely. But the measure of that character of that guy, what does he do in the next practice? How good is he in the next practice? Because that's his reaction, right? That's his reaction to the adversity of it, the coachability going forward of him, the attitude of his teammates. MJ Morris has made a bunch of great moves by all reports.
Well, Mike Loxley said that he couldn't really tell how MJ Morris felt about the news that he was not the starter because he's a quiet guy, but in Mike Loxley's words, MJ Morris hears everything and absorbs it internally, but pretty stoic.
Yeah, and again, that's hard to transfer. Billy Edwards earning the trust again of all involved with that victory over Auburn in the bowl, playing great and practicing great, and again, earning every bit of it. But MJ Morris has earned a shot just like Billy Edwards had last year to relieve Tonga Vailoa.
Morris with a test on third down, takes a hit and throws into tight coverage. Cam Chadwick was that close to a pick.
Yes, he was, and the twist game, they were that close to a sack. Watch the little TT twist. It's going to be Jack Barton who gets home, introduces himself to MJ Morris. Let's watch the route, corner route, trying to flatten him out. Great reaction by Cam Chadwick. A great reaction. It's a pick.
So both MJ Morris drives so far have ended in punts. This drive did move. They send McPherson out again, and a nervy catch from Sheffield. And UConn will have it back. We'll see who comes back out at quarterback. Will it be Evers or Fignano? This was like an episode of The Masked Singer.
It's her. It is her.
So we have Maryland, or a Maryland alum to thank for the Muppets, Jim Henson.
Love it.
Hanging with Kermit. I want you to assign positions to Sweetums, Animal, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and the Swedish Chef.
Oh, wow.
Where are you lining them up?
That's
You're the
top
Muppets
five
offensive
Muppet
coordinator.
Football play. I'm going to call you Sweetums from here on out because that guy looked tough and his name's Sweetums. Animals. Oh, no. Oof.
Incomplete.
Almost
Fignano's
tip
pass.
pick number 2 right there. Fignano just got to get in rhythm. They're trying to get him some makeable throws.
You're like
catch and get out.
You're like Jim Mora and Mike Loxley in the offseason. You just pivoted off of naming your Muppet starting quarterback.
Exactly. Well, Max Linewand, our producer, a diehard Muppet fan. He had 5 people on there nobody ever even heard of. He went like deep Muppet lore.
So I'm taking that as Miss Piggy as your starting quarterback. All right, book it.
I'm going to go Animal.
Okay. Tight battle in
Versatile,
camp.
yeah, tight battle in camp. We'll get Sweetums some run, just like MJ Morris.
Well,
you?
I mean, I was trying to lead you toward Miss Piggy being the quarterback. So
sure, why not?
I don't think I was named to your staff, though.
Absolutely.
So does Fignano out? Evers got hurt on the last drive. Who was named the starting quarterback for UConn? Helmet came off on a late hit. And over the middle, Hansen has the catch, and he's right at the sticks and beyond him for a first down.
Great job standing in here by Joe Fignano. You see your buddy go down, you make a mistake on the pick as a team, not necessarily his fault right there, but took a shot right there, a big throw and catch on that first down.
And Jim Mora talked about Fignano when he got hurt last year. He never went into the tank emotionally. Stayed up, stayed around the team, wanted to come back, obviously wanted the job. But here he is as the backup, playing in the first game, and Skylar Bell down the field one more time. And he is in bounds with possession. Very explosive.
Spot. We talked about him during the break. Here's another big box fade. It's him versus Glendon Miller with all of that room. That is a great ball by Joe Fignano. A catchable spot, letting him run and get it. Skylar Bell is a weapon.
He's over 100 yards on the day on just 3 catches. And right back to him, Glendon Miller up to introduce himself.
See if they go fast here again. Just get the rhythm going, get back in this game. Get some points, ideally, right, for the Husky Nation. Good job there. He's getting the ball, throw and catch, chances, opportunities.
And if there's one guy in particular that knows he belongs on this field for UConn, it's Skylar Bell. Played a lot at Wisconsin. Wanted a bigger role, wants to be the 1A in that receiver room, and he has been in game 1. Fignano on the move again to Sheffield. Touchdown UConn, their first points of the year.
Beautifully designed right here. A little out and up. TJ Sheffield versus Glendon Miller. They think it's going to be a red 7. Hot route. Watch this flat route setup. Get the ball to the young guy's quarterback. Whoop, not so fast. Out and up. Touchdown, Huskies. Has to feel good for that sideline. Joe Fignano, tough battle in the offseason. Sheffield, he says, don't forget about me. I'm a Big Ten guy, too.
5 years at Purdue. He caught a touchdown against the Huskies as a Boilermaker in a Purdue win in 2021, and now his first as a UConn Husky has UConn on the board for the first time.
The ironies of the transfer portal era.
Yeah, the last time he scored a touchdown when UConn fans were watching, they're like, oh, we don't like that. And now TJ Sheffield on the pass from Fignano. You mentioned it. Joe Fignano didn't play the entire first half, lost the battle in camp. Very easily could have been a sluggish look, but moved the ball both drives. He's been a quarterback.
Absolutely. That, tough bounce on that first one from Rosa, trying to get it out on a similar play to that flat route. And then the big time throws to Bell, getting Sheffield involved, their experience. And just the mindset of standing in multiple times. That guy just took shots on multiple plays on that drive, completing it with a beautiful design by offensive coordinator Gordy Samus for the touchdown. He'll watch that one a lot more than the interception.
Maybe watch that once or twice.
Yes.
And then so Maryland coming back out after UConn's first touchdown of the day. Next week, the game of the year is here on Big Noon Saturday. Quinn Ewers, 4th-ranked Texas against 9th-ranked Michigan. What are the Wolverines going to look like coming off that national championship next year? Very, very big test to begin it, obviously. It all starts with Big Noon kickoff. Live from Ann Arbor, 9 Eastern, next Saturday. And of course, last week in Dublin, the college football season started. Georgia Tech and Florida State. Game-winning field goal for the Yellow Jackets last night. Checking out our guys, Tim Brando, Devin Gardner, calling that game from Madison. Wisconsin beating Western Michigan. There's Felton out of a couple of tackles. Now showing off the speed. All the skills on display for Ty Felton. And all the way home.
Point guard, right? Basketball country here in Maryland. Point guard, get it to your guys. Get it to your guys in space. Throw just an innocent little boundary hitch to Ty Felton. Bang, bang. Make a miss, make a miss. Track meet. D lineman, safety was bad angles. No chance. Break the tape. Ty Felton, touchdown.
Well, most of the Maryland players would tell you that was no good. Most of the Maryland players would tell you Nolan Ray, their running back, is their fastest player, but Ty Felton is right there with him. He runs a low 4.3 40-yard dash.
Yeah, it showed right there. And just, again, ball switch. High and tight, the ability to shed that last defender with the inside arm. Fundamentally sound, fast, tough, unselfish receivers. Ooh, that's dangerous. Billy goes, did you see me throw that about 5 yards and my guy did the rest of it? Heck yeah.
It's a quarterback stat pattern.
Dream, quarterback dream right there.
179 yards and counting for Ty Felton. There was a game. This was in a game. This wasn't with the catapult suit on in practice or anything like that. With pads on in a game against Nebraska, 22 miles an hour.
Amazing, amazing.
So Ty Felton not safe in the school zone. "20 miles an hour in the school zone," right?
That's right. I was laughing. I should have said it. Yeah, that was very funny. I love it.
Thanks. Maybe next week you'll call me by my actual name. 2 seconds left in this third. Maryland with a quick strike to answer the UConn touchdown.
Slightly better kick that time, but that was returnable. Done some damage in the kick return game. Did Mel Brown. I thought he might try to bring that one out.
So drive 3 for Fignano. First drive ended after he was the injury sub through a pick. Bounced off his receiver's chest. Second one ended on a touchdown.
There was some debris up top that we thought was a flag. I think it was just a towel up top that they just picked up, and they can kind of do whatever they want here. 2 seconds left in the quarter. Motion to quads up top.
Darrell Robinson, the motion man. It's him on the reception.
That doesn't count out there. That's out of bounds.
Nope.
Had a chance with that motion to get it out.
Ty Felton hitting top speed one more time. All Terps through 3. Billy Edwards and Ty Felton, like they've been doing it their whole careers. Even though it's Billy Edwards' first start, I think some morale has been boosted with Wale on the sideline. Super fan, newly minted after flipping from being a Hurricanes fan. He was a Miami guy his whole life, and then he decided, you know what? I like what Mike Loxley's doing at Maryland. I want to be a Terps fan.
I get it. Nice little first down rip off that from Darrell Robinson. Uh-oh.
Fignano has to bench it.
They came to that play for a specific reason, and TJ Sheffield was uncovered. They ran a double move, trying to get Fignano a shot downfield. That's the kind of stuff that you know, review the game tape and come back and go, hey man, next week this could get us. Sheffield was uncovered.
Fignano running the option with Rosa. And Rosa with the shoulder pads down after the pitch. Daniel Wingate got to him. Close to a first down.
Nice play design again. They ran that earlier with Evers. Everybody in this stadium thinking, hey, Evers could run the option right there with the backup Fignano. Great execution with the pitch off Donnell Brown. A lot more fun sometimes to option off that guy and not get hit than do anything else and play him in space. Zero pressure here from Maryland. Look, no help deep, bring pressure.
And here they come. Vignano out quick, looking for Sheffield. And a couple plays too late, targeting Sheffield.
Yeah, they ran a different pressure that time, brought zero coverage. You're right, though. Gordy Samus, offensive coordinator, probably came back to that and said, hey, we got to get a look here, but they've got 5 to block. That's 6 dudes in the picture. 31 is the extra one. Good job getting it out on time if you're Vignano. Just got to give your guy a chance.
Saw the shot at Jim Mora and Connor Stutz earlier. Trying to get him right after he shanked a punt.
Much better.
And this one much better. Oh, can't get the bounce. Takes a Terp bounce, in for a touchback. Let's do a little Marty McFly time travel here, all right? Let's go back September 27th, 1942. Right in the middle of the war, they were still playing college football. Maryland and UConn for the first time.
The Nutmeggers.
Yeah, the Nutmeggers. The Nutmeg State, UConn, or Connecticut. Clark Shaughnessy was the head coach at that time for Maryland. Father of the T formation.
Love it.
MJ Morris, the quarterback for the Terps. And he gets sandwiched with his eyes downfield. Herd of Huskies came up and chopped him for a sack.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be MJ Morris for the rest of the game here, getting some invaluable experience here going forward. Billy Edwards has the look of a guy who's had a really good day, but a lot to work on still, which is scary and great for their upcoming opponents.
MJ Morris. He gets hit at the end of that. Flag comes out. Famina Brown was in late, and now MJ Morris is slow to get up.
Take a look at this again. Clearly gives himself up with the feet first slide right there. And that's, again, I think that's going to fall into the category feet first slide, contact to the head or neck area. And that's both those guys. Unfortunately, physical guys got to lower your target as soon as those feet, or avoid it. Avoid it. It's always hard.
Personal foul, late hit with targeting, defense number 2. The previous play is under further review.
So that's Ronte Jones, who was suspended for the first half because of targeting in the final game of last year. You could even see the look on Jim Mora's face. I think more out of concern
disbelief.
for him. Yeah, more out of concern for MJ Morris.
No doubt. He doesn't want to see that. And again, really 2 guys could have been called for it. We're bringing Mike, again, a feet first. That makes him defenseless. So it just the standard is now simply forcible contact to the head or neck area. And Mike Pereira, what do you think?
Yeah, I think clearly it's targeting. Now remember, the announcement is key. So what they said was late hit with targeting. So really that means they've called 2 fouls. They've called a late hit and targeting. You can take off targeting, but you would still have UNR, unnecessary roughness for the late hit. But in this case, as you said, breaking down, play is over, he's defenseless, have to stay off the head or neck area. So to me, I think it's targeting, shoulder to the head.
The review, the ruling on the field of targeting is confirmed. Number 2 is disqualified. First down, Maryland.
So Ronte Jones for the 2nd straight game called for targeting. That's the 2nd player for UConn in this game disqualified for targeting after Jordan Wright was disqualified earlier.
Yeah, trying to break in a ton of new defensive backs. Jordan Wright will play in that next game. Durante Jones, not the 2-game streak that he or anyone else wants, and certainly not Jim Moore Jr.
Cam Edge, the new quarterback, with MJ Morris leaving the game after taking that hit. I sure hope he's okay. Morris And battled so hard for the job with Edge and with Edwards. Just a scary, scary hit.
Yeah, they'll try to work through that, working through some subs in the offensive line, and he's the most physical, looking of these quarterbacks. Again, MJ Morris has an elite skill set that's slightly different. Billy Edwards kind of a little bit of everything, and again, just really, really efficient. That's what Mike Locksley was looking for in this quarterback battle.
He said he feels like he can win with all three guys.
Yep. And I believe it. Mike Locksley's done a great job both recruiting that position and coaching this position now. And just with the talent around these guys, they're going to work out the kinks in the offensive line. Will there be different challenges in the Big Ten slate? Absolutely. No one knows that better than him. But there's just so much talent everywhere else. Tight end, they're better. They're 2, maybe even 3 deep there. Multiple wideouts. 3 deep at running back today has been more than evident.
Ray, Hemby, and McDonald, the 3-headed running back room. We also have DeJuan Williams. And Edge's first pass is complete. Ryan Manning picks it off the turf.
Ryan Manning with the reception.
In Edge's mind, this is going to be a laser completion for that first throw, and catch. Just feathered that in, was under a little bit of duress with a 4-man rush. But that's gold. Again, to get 3 guys through this game active. Coach Locksley, again, that would have been his goal going into this game. You're never really sure you're going to be able to do that.
Back-to-back completions for Edge. But we did see Edge in the bowl game.
Yep.
Him and Billy Edwards both played at quarterback in the win against Auburn. Edge, pretty good in the short stints we saw him. 4 for 6 through his first career touchdown pass.
No doubt. Those guys both played great and earned a bunch of credibility amongst their teammates, amongst this coaching staff. Billy Edwards winning a tight race. That's a really bad fake signal there. That late and with the earpiece. No, yeah. Got to do something at this point in the game. He's creased here.
First down, Maryland. Well, the helmet communication, you get 1 player on the field at a time that has contact with the coaching staff, but that turns off with 15 seconds.
But you can see right there, there's Edge, the back of his lid, that green dot, the C2P, coach to player. Right there, there's somebody on defense on every team. It's 1 person on offense on every team, maximum at any point.
Well, Billy Edwards, the reason he might have been signaling, right, is that the communication cuts off 15 seconds on the play clock, so you might still need some signals.
Oh, absolutely. That is still, especially in the college game, there's a ton more check with me at the line of scrimmage, and coaches want to kind of have the chalkboard last, as everybody says, to get to the ideal check.
Now to the edge. Cam Edge has his first touchdown pass of the season. Josiah McLaurin in for a Terps touchdown.
Cam Edge, really good timing right here, getting the ball in the perimeter. Let's check and see if this is a forward pass. If you're a quarterback, you have to fight for it. It's going to be a tweener, but that turns into a 4-by-1 set. Get your guys in space. Well designed and well executed for McLaurin.
You can take that pressure off your chest as a former quarterback.
That's right. Yep.
They did rule it a pass.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Statistician is a good person.
Were you going to rip him if they called it a run?
No. Just not American, but, whatever.
Well, the Terps getting close to 13-0 in the last 4 years in non-conference games. Rolling in the opener in 2024. Josiah McLaurin with the latest touchdown for the Terps. 5th of the day, on a day where Roman Hemby, Nolan Ray, Ty Felton have all found the end zone. True freshman getting in on it. Mike Locksley showing what's been a deep recruiting class year after year. We touched on that a little bit earlier. He has found guys everywhere.
Yeah, that dude knows a thing or two about wide-out play. Again, just I loved all those things he was telling us the other day. Just, hey, I know that guy's a diva. I got to do this. I'm going to get rid of this guy. Keep this, and just the product on the field has just gotten so much more consistent, and they're all like, just copies of each other.
Short kick, Mel Brown, long return earlier. Looking for a crease on the edge, and he dances out of bounds.
Yeah, kickoff coverage will be a large point of contention going forward.
How about the company for Maryland with this undefeated run in non-con games? That includes postseason games. Yeah. Georgia's the only other one in the room with them.
Yeah, anything you're 1 of 2 on with Georgia, that's again just speaks for itself. Great win over another SEC team in Auburn this last season. Mike Loxley's just done a great job recruiting, great job developing the guys on campus. The portal has been perfect for them. But they've done it the old-fashioned way.
That record flashes, and you think, well, who have they played? Well, again, that counts the bowl games. In that time, they've beaten West Virginia. They've beaten Virginia Tech, who a lot of people think could be a dark horse runner to the college football playoff this year. NC State, Virginia, and Auburn, all part of that 13-0 run. Vignano's pass incomplete, 3rd down UConn.
Yeah, had a chance right there in space. And like Mel Brown in space as a return guy right there. No chance for the Gardner-Webb. I saw him last year doing a bunch of great stuff in space, but 5'9", probably not going to have a chance at that one.
You're watching the Big South cut-ups, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy, man, he was impressive.
Big South champion for Gardner-Webb, going FCS to FBS, transferring up a level. Vignano on 3rd down, wants Skylar Bell. He's got Skylar Bell, who's over 100 yards on the day, and he's escorted out of bounds with the drive alive for UConn.
Great spot by Vignano, similar to that last. This is a fade all the way outside against Humes, one-on-one in coverage this time. That's a win. Come back and get it. Back shoulder it, give your guy a chance. Nice job.
Brown got stuck in the hole. We were talking about Skylar Bell wanting to come here, have a bigger chance to put some stuff on tape for the NFL. What do you think NFL scouts will want to see from him going Wisconsin to UConn before he tries to make that jump?
Yeah, there's always questions about that guy or that type of situation, and scouts get all that stuff answered, and he's put enough on tape both at Wisconsin and here to earn some sort of look, and he'll get it. He's just too dynamic, too rare with the ball in his hands, his skills. He'll get a shot.
Well, 4 of his 5 catches today have been explosive plays.
Yep. And they've done a good job of getting him in those one-on-one situations to again play to the quarterback strengths. First it was Nick Evers, and then Joe Vignano. They're starting to get a little rhythm, no doubt about that. That'll pay dividend for them going forward.
Those numbers for Bell have come across 2 quarterbacks. Evers left earlier in the second half after his helmet came off on a hit he took. Darrell Robinson's showing some power in the backfield, but only able to get back to the line.
Coach Samus referred to him as the heavy runner. There's a good look at that right there. Just a big, thick, square him up truck, spin move to stay alive before the Maryland defenders rally to get him down.
That doesn't mean he's slow, right? It just means he's going to run through you.
Yes, yeah. He's not going to pass up contact in the dark alley.
4th and 5. Vignano with time underneath, and that's right at the marker. I don't think they got there.
Yeah, not there.
Nope, Darrell Robinson was a yard short.
Maryland did a great job playing deep to short.
We'll step out. Terps looking for 1-0. Today's smoking player of the game is brought to you by Old Trapper. What's your beef? It's Ty Felton, 178 yards, a career high.
He has been awesome right there. A big post up on the goal line for his young quarterback, Billy Edwards. That play-action pass set up a touchdown right here. It's a little DIY touchdown. Breaking tackles. Use that 4.3 speed. Unbelievable day from Ty Felton.
Most yards since former Terp, DJ Moore.
Another fast guy.
He's pretty fast. Can we do an overlay at some point this year of Billy Edwards to Ty Felton, Caleb Williams to DJ Moore in the NFL?
Ooh, I like it.
Might see something like that.
Yes.
Felton and Prather, the two guys that came back, they're looking for a consistent third guy. Last year it was Corey Dyches, it was Jay Sean Jones. It was just an embarrassment of talent for Talia Tungavailoa to throw the ball to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting going forward. The name that we heard about and read about a ton in the preseason was Shalik Knotts. And Punch Knotts hasn't really shown up in this game. And I think I see why. These other guys have been outstanding, and we'll see the development of Octavian Smith. They talked about Rob Smith as well going forward. A couple tight ends, and a very talented backfield on this team.
Always some mysteries week one.
Yes.
You find out a lot more if you're Maryland next week, you would think.
Yes.
Going into a conference game of the Big Ten. Edge's pass incomplete. Will be 4th down.
A little off timing there, trying to get Robert Smith up top one-on-one. Had a great route cut right there, just a little late with that ball.
Right at the feet of Beyonce's cousin, Robert Smith.
It's a good pull, right? Is she here?
Let me look through my binoculars. Let's see. McPherson out to punt. And Sheffield retreating. Oh, that is a booming punt.
Are we sure he's not Australian?
I'm positive. Sorry. Well, Jim Mora is coming back to College Park today. He hadn't coached a college game here. He did coach in the pro levels and came to a couple of games here with the Baltimore Stars. Right?
Yes.
He was telling us.
Favorite memory, Baltimore Stars, coached by some guy named Jim Mora Sr., a legend in his own right. This team, this is one of those scores right here. This is a tough score to look at. 43-7 at this point. You know, there's been some ugly-ish moments for this UConn team, but this is a better team. This is a better football team. You can see the talent upgrade that they have. Here's another one. They've got 10 guys on offense, so they have to take a timeout. That's something you got to build upon and talk about. But this is a better football team. Matt Brock will do different things going forward with this defense. And a much different schedule going forward.
The schedule is really interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
This is likely going to be UConn's hardest game.
Yes, absolutely. I think
they
that's
do have
more
Duke
than
in a couple
fair.
of weeks.
Yep. And then also you look at, this is maybe an independent that's not named Notre Dame schedule. They're at home against Merrimack, at Duke, and then 3 in a row. Florida Atlantic, Buffalo, and Temple at home.
And then they keep going
and then,
at home.
They keep going
the home schedule doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's home and home and home and home.
6-game homestand.
Yes. I had to do a triple take on that and a couple on the road there at the end. But there are brighter days. That guy's got his rally cap on. See, I love it. Glass half full.
Vignano on the move. Dumps it. If you were curious how the Baltimore Stars did when Coach Mora's dad coached here with the USFL, they won the '85 USFL title.
Love it.
They beat Oakland in the title game.
Love it.
The more you know.
The Mora, you know.
The Mora, you know.
Ooh. Great coach. Probably sitting right now on maybe a golf course watching this game. Taking notes for his son going forward.
And Darrell Robinson cutting back. 3rd down for UConn coming. I was going to say the hope for UConn is that at minimum they can get back to where they were 2 years ago. Last year, a big disappointment. 3-9 season after they were surprisingly 6-6. Jim Mora did a wonderful job his first year. Independent school going to the Myrtle Beach Bowl. It was a 6-6 team 2 years ago. On third down, Fignano to the edge, off the hands of TJ Sheffield.
That's the one, just a base play execution that hit, one back, three-man rush, had a chance to stay on the field, forced to punt it away with a 4th and 3 back toe.
Maryland, little late getting guys onto the field.
Yeah, at this point in this time and score is where your special teams coordinator is the hardest job in football. You got injured guys, you got the guys that got kicked out, all these moving parts on both sides.
And the drive will start at the 40. Ricardo Cooper on the return for Maryland. This is what's coming up for Maryland. Their big games. Northwestern, that game's on Fox. That'll be a Friday night at USC. At Oregon, a couple of the new Big Ten rivals. Iowa, late in the season, and at Penn State. Closing it out. Of course, divisions are gone in the Big Ten. That's something that Mike Locksley is happy to see go away. That's part of why that record against ranked teams is the way it was, because they were playing Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State every year.
Yep.
They don't have Michigan and Ohio State on the schedule this year.
And then he follows that up. We were talking the other day with the but now we've got Oregon, we've got SC, we've still got Penn State. The challenges are slightly different. But no doubt about that, just the confidence going into it that, hey, we get this first one against UConn going forward. A conference game next week against Michigan State right here.
Michigan State held on late last night in their opening game of the Jonathan Smith era. Beat FAU. Be some crossover tape there. UConn plays FAU in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Back-to-back carries. DeJuan Williams. It's interesting, you got former teammates that are freshman running backs in this game. You had Darrell Robinson, who we've seen a lot for UConn in the second half. DeJuan Williams, his former backfield mate at St. Francis Academy here in the Baltimore area. That is a talent factory.
No doubt, but they won a lot of games.
Blake Corum out of St. Francis Academy, former Michigan running back, now in the NFL.
Love the audio. Quarterback run, quarterback run.
Turns out to be quarterback throw, but incomplete. It's McLaurin again. Robert Smith, excuse me. Twisting for that 4th down. Edging the Terps offense coming off the field.
Just got to save a little room for the quarterback up top. Kind of ran up that sideline and then obviously a little bit high on that throw.
Price McPherson in bunt formation. TJ Sheffield for UConn.
Oh, that's on the ground. Cooper's right there. Did he get on top of it for Maryland? Goff, the long snapper, says yes, and he's right. A special teams mistake with Ricardo Cooper recovering it for Maryland.
Yeah, it's got to communicate. We saw this last night, the Wisconsin-Western Michigan game, turning the tide late in a similar situation. We've got to communicate, whatever you call it, poison, poison, poison. Yell, 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 get away, let those guys know.
Yeah, Chris Hudson
fair, whatever communication. There's a communication system. You go right there, and he just slips back into him. Hudson, man on the spot right there.
Yep.
McLaurin in the backfield, and he's cut under. Malcolm Bell made the tackle for UConn.
They could take this to the 2-minute timeout if they want to. I would imagine they would right here. based on what Coach Locks wants to do with kind of his backup group here. Yeah, a lot of teachable tape here, and a lot of coaches around the country right here learn, hopefully have their team learn from that last play before they make it themselves.
McLaurin again. They do run a play before the 2-minute timeout, and this should take us there.
It will.
Final 2 minutes coming up. The post-Talia Tungavailoa era has begun for Maryland with a convincing day on offense with Billy Edwards as the starter, leading UConn 43-7 to the 2-minute timeout. More to come on FS1, North Dakota and Iowa State, UNLV Houston, Wyoming, Arizona State, all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. So you can park it on the couch. Fox College football team bringing you ball all day long in this first full Saturday of college football.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was fishing earlier.
Yes, he had some moves I could decipher.
Edge with a first down pass. Robert Smith.
Delicious.
I think that's our crab cake pretzel that we had earlier.
That looks, yeah. What did you say they had? Crab fries? Was that the item?
Not here. That was other coast.
Okay.
I got those in Seattle one time. Yeah.
Crabapalooza here. A lot of options.
Nothing there for Williams.
UConn doing a great job against this base run. There's a lot of the backups on both teams here. These, people are going, hey, man, why did you just end this game? This is valuable, man. These guys have earned every rep before the 2-minute timeout, after the 2-minute timeout. Gold for these guys going forward.
Back to Williams, slipping through for a touchdown.
She loves it, almost untouched that time by DeJuan Williams, creasing it. They ran a little line step up front. It's going to open it. See the slant with the pullers, the kick out. Maybe down in touch football, barely down in touch football. Great finish.
That's you mentioned this is not insignificant time for some of the guys on the field right now. DeJuan Williams didn't get to play his senior year of high school.
Yeah, there you go.
So he tore his ACL. His first college game, first college touchdown.
That feels good right there, getting dapped up on the sideline, hugs from everybody. So every single one of those guys knows that story.
This to come for Maryland. Our friends at Big Ten Network have next week's game against Michigan State, so right into Big Ten play.
Yeah, they as you said, Michigan State a lot of film to work on. Played great on defense. Had a couple uncharacteristic issues last night for a Jonathan Smith team, and then if you're a Maryland fan, you're taking off all those next games. Okay, I'm going to win that game. I'm going to win that game. I'm going to win that game. But you got to play those games. You got to win those games in the off season. Mike Locksley so far, man, 50-7 against certainly a different level rising up UConn team. Big.
Well, they won their Big Ten opener last year against Indiana, part of a 5-0 start. And things got a little bit hairy in October. There was the Illinois game and the Northwestern game that they both thought they should have
Very
had.
uncharacteristic, especially that Northwestern game. But anything can happen, man.
The kick coverage good this time for Maryland. They'd given up a couple long returns.
Yeah, that was a clean, illegal, big-time physical pop right there on that return. Yeah, when you look at the kind of the pros and cons of today, this is definitely something that they'll key on. Watch this. Light up, not a defensive player. He's initiated a ton of that contact. That's Reddick taking the brunt they've covered that left return better as the game's gone on.
Darrell Robinson. So this is the other part of that former high school backfield that had Darrell Robinson, who just carried that, and DeJuan Williams, who just scored the touchdown for Maryland.
I want to coach those backs. That'd be really smart.
Call up Masai Halamariam at St. Francis. Let him know you got a need for a job, apparently. You're leaving me already after one game. Thanks.
Never.
Okay.
UConn feels like they're trying to just win this on the ground, get to the next game, play clean as cleanly as possible at this point. And Jim Moore Jr. knew that coming into this. He knew this would be a tough day. The matchup, they're going to give them their best shot, no doubt about it, to kind of find out where they are talent-wise. And then you flip it over to the side of Maryland. We talked about all the great things that they have done today. Kickoff coverage among them, things to work on, ball security offensively, and then a ton of pros. Billy Edwards era off to a huge start, and all those playmakers, the defensive turnovers, did a great job. They didn't show a ton defensively to their upcoming opponents. Ton to build on, a ton to coach for both these guys.
So Mike Locksley and Maryland will go into their Big Ten opener next week against Michigan State, 1-0. With new quarterback Billy Edwards throwing for over 300 and a Maryland win. Fun first one, partner.
Yes, absolutely.
That's Mark Helfrich. I'm Connor Onion. Rowan Graywall helping us out in the booth today. Mike Rudolphi, our statistician. Max Linewad, Derek Manning, our producer and director. We thank you for watching football all day long on FS1. Do not go anywhere. North Dakota and Iowa State coming up next.